What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to another installment of your Casually Chelsea show, your nice, tightly packed, weekly wrapped up, compact. I'm running out of adjectives to describe a packed show of the latest news, all in one and a half hour to 3 hour stream, talking about Chelsea and all the latest transfers and injuries and all that fun stuff here at Casually Chelsea or Casually FC. I am your host, Marshalldbdx, unaccompanied with the man, the myth, the Bridge 258, Oliver, and Real Chris. It's good to see you. Good to have you back on stream. But before we go ahead and get this show started, wait, what? Agreed, but not yet. We're not in a crisis yet. We're not back in a crisis yet.
We are in a crisis. Hey, listen, man. I cut my hair, guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you noticed. Hair's been cut.
Yeah.
No, I haven't cut my hair, man. Listen.
No, you just tied it.
Stop lying, big man. Hair's still here. Back. Okay. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
No, wait. No, I ain't lying.
I can't tell if you actually cut your hair or not. But...
No, I didn't cut my hair.
You did.
Just tied it.
I was like, I don't notice a difference on it. I'm sorry. Ladies and gents, before we get this awesome show started, be sure to do all the admin stuff. Like the stream if you haven't already liked the stream, or the video if you're watching this in the future. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so. We are on our way to 3K. We have to first hit 2.5K. That's the new goal. Let's get there. Baby steps, little at a time. Let's crush these goals and let's get to 3K. That way we can have a 3K celebration party. Why not? You know? Not yet, though. Oops,
I'm literally 3 away from 1,010. Now I'm saying, so I'm gonna have.
There you go.
You know, I know. Obviously, I haven't really posted the last 4 days because obviously there's not been that much Chelsea news. And like the Armando Broja news is like, listen, man, I already called that ages ago. Look, guys, that guy's finito, man. He's getting kicked out of the club. Like it's cash money. I already need that already.
So we will get to all that fun stuff. But before we do, like I was saying, guys, if you haven't already done so, smash up that like button. Let's try to get to 50 likes this stream. It'd be awesome if we could. Let's also hit the bell notifications so you are notified whenever we do go live, on top of being subscribed so the live shows up on your feed whenever you go on YouTube around this time. Also, check out the links in the description to everyone's content, including Ahmed's, Flawless, and so on and so forth. You'll see the Discord on there. We have a very active community on Discord. Be sure to also leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on everything we're going to be discussing in today's show. And then lastly, check out the memberships because there are 4 different tiers starting at 99p, all which go back to supporting the channel and giving you guys more content, more upgraded content as well, better quality content for that. And, you know, with enough support, we'll finally find someone to replace Ahmed.
Hey, man.
I'm just kidding.
If you do that voice, man, listen, more power to you, man.
Ahmed is irreplaceable, but it's going to take a lot of subs to replace Ahmed. So, yeah, we got work to do. Everyone. Ahmed, I'm kidding. But all right, let's go ahead and get this show on the road by starting off with our first bit of news, not Chelsea related, but it is football related. Let's talk about some updates coming to VAR that aren't coming to the UK just yet, but are very well on its way to eventually being here in the UK. So let me start off by sharing my screen and reading this tweet right here from Eurofoot. So, huge development for VAR. Audio from decisions now set to be aired live in stadiums and for viewers. Issues. Am I good? Okay.
You cut out for a second.
I'll if it gets bad, I'll restart. But we've expressed our frustrations previously with VAR, and we've also earlier in the season or earlier this calendar year for fuck's sake. Am I here? Okay. Earlier this calendar year for Casually FC, we discussed that they were going to start, showing the discussions that they had behind VAR. But now this takes it to another level, which to a certain extent, I think it's necessary, but at the same time, I think I can see it being too much. Too much in a... Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. You just froze. That's all.
Okay, that's fine. Too much in the sense of a lot of pressure and a lot of anxiety, which would probably lead to more mistakes. So I don't know about you guys. How do you feel about this whole situation with VAR right now?
Alright, so while Marshall obviously refixes his connection, we will discuss.
Yeah, I'll get this
So
fixed up.
basically,
I'll be right back.
I think obviously, so this is actually going to be voted on in the Premier League in March. Actually, March of this year is when this is set to be voted for. So if I'm so obviously this is probably more than likely going to happen. We're already seeing some form of this already. If you guys know, they have the monthly show in the on Sky where they literally talk about this sort of thing. So it doesn't surprise me that this is the eventuality. I think the other thing that we also need to realize, guys, whether we want to admit it or not, is that this is already a common thing in many other sports where you hear referees and their decision making and the decisions going into place. Obviously, the easy example for us fellow guys in the UK would be like cricket, for example, where if you watch cricket, you can literally hear the way my guy literally speaking about it. Like he's going through the process step by step. Can I get the ultra edge? He was literally first, if it's like an LBW call, for example, that you will actually see him do the steps and everything, and then he'll be like, can we get the ball like movement and image? So like there's an actual step and process being done. Obviously I know the famous one for VAR is the Australian League, where he does everything step by step, which is really great. Now I think for me also this actually finally puts, I would argue, necessary pressure on the referees to finally be able to make good in-game decisions. And also when decisions are being made while they come to the screen, we can actually hear them now, go through decision making of both, not just the VAR, but the guys that are in Stockley Park and their school of thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I was gonna say like is it like the referees gonna be talking on the mic for starters? Like are they gonna be doing that?
Yes.
Their
So
mics
it's
are going to be broadcast to the TV.
Chris,
In the stadium too.
Yeah.
So Chris,
I don't know about the stadium, Marshall. Does it say anything about
That's what
stadium?
it said. Yeah, it says
it'll be
stadiums.
Interesting.
It's like rugby.
Chris,
That's what I wanted.
So Chris, like what's the word? Like how in cricket you will literally hear the referee in the stadium and everything like that. You actually hear him going through everything and everything like that. That's how it'll be, bro.
Well, I didn't know about cricket because I don't watch it, but rugby does it as well. You can hear the referees talk as well, like so. That's what I wanted to see anyway, like so you can hear the referees, what they're discussing, and how it is. Because sometimes you just left confused. Why is that decision being made? And yeah, like it might be helpful, but the thing with VAR, it's gotta be like sort of like communication in the back, and they are actually improving in that. And I do like VAR because we can't revert back to the old ways now. We've seen when it's reverted back to the old ways, it's horrible. Like you have to move forward and just keep improving it year by year at this point now. So yeah, it's a good thing they keep improving it year by year, but at least I guess.
And nor should we revert to the old way. We've always made the point on here that the system needs to be implemented better. The system itself isn't the problem. There are procedures here that in countless situations have not been followed. And there are even times where the VAR audio hasn't been released, but like instances like where Mike Dean protected Anthony Taylor and didn't recommend the Kukurea hair pull and things like that, where we don't even know what was said there. We're only going off an account from a podcast from Mike Dean there. So this brings like Ahmed said, this brings a necessary pressure and an integrity to the world of refereeing. And at the end of the day, if these referees can't hack the extra pressure, because by the way, you got to remember they have made the decision in their careers to referee in one of the top leagues in the world. If they can't handle that, then they need to be removed.
Yeah, and I think part of it for me is just that it just holds these guys, accountable, whether you like it or not. So. It's just a necessity, yeah. Go ahead, bro. You know what? We haven't spoken, obviously.
No. I just mean that, like, overall, I think this is a net good, but I feel like there are going to be more mistakes made now simply because of the pressure. And I agree with Oliver, in a sense of, yeah, you take this job knowing the pressures that come with it, and so. Maybe now I'm thinking about it and fleshing out this idea live on Casually FC on YouTube, which you should be liking and subscribing to. But now that I'm fleshing out this idea, I'm thinking maybe that'll start to phase out the more incompetent refs and bring in more competent ones that can handle these situations and can do their job more competently. God bless you, Ahmed. So maybe yeah, I think it's a net positive. I'm just aware that in the beginning, I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of shaky decisions because we also have to keep in mind the whole Luis Diaz situation that happened earlier this season. Those referees definitely knew they were being recorded. They knew this was going to be broadcasted. They knew, right? They have a hunch. They already understand that this is going to be reviewed after the fact and all that stuff. They know they're being recorded. So imagine the mistakes that they made knowing that. Now imagine that to a bigger extent now that they're going to be recorded
I don't
live
think
in the stadium and so on and so forth.
I don't think they did though, because that was the first ever time that a VAR audio was released.
Yeah.
So they were going into.
They must have known because they can't just tell you. They can't just secretly record you though.
Well, no, they're going to record you obviously because it's like a big sporting event, and you know it's like it's just standard procedure to have all of the communications around the stadium, whether that be VAR, whether that be just like general stuff. Anyway, they have to have this stuff on record.
I'm assuming they have a discretion or a clause there, like, hey, all of your decisions and all the audio will be recorded for potential training purposes or something like that.
Well, yeah, like that's kind of standard things in any job, really, you know, that involves this sort of stuff. So, I don't think they did not go into that game thinking that they were going to be broadcast on live television and Howard Webb talking about the decision, because it had never happened before. But before that it had never happened, and the only reason it did happen was because of the outrage that was brought upon it by the footballing community.
Sure.
I also think that the other thing that you need to realize as well, Marshall, is that how should I put this in the right way possible? Is that essentially what's happened right now, at least in the whether it be the whether it be in the Premier League in particular, is that there's been a lot of bad calls with VAR now.
I get,
and it's like
I agree.
Putting major integrity issues now on the VAR basically. So that's something that they cannot allow essentially, particularly with the fact that they need VAR to work. And I think the other thing is, the things that are being missed here, even with VAR occurring, is kind of bad. Like, let's be honest as well.
That's true. That is true. So, I mean, this is definitely something that right now it's, I believe, if you do read the article, it does mention that right now it's going to start off at La Liga. I think it's La Liga. It's going to first start there.
It will be Liga Portugal, bro. Liga Portugal.
Oh, Liga 1?
No, Liga Portugal.
Not Liga 1. I'm sorry.
Liga Nos.
Liga Nos. Thank you.
Yes.
Drew a blank there. Yeah, so it'll start with Liga Nos and then eventually make its way through the rest of Europe, I'm sure, if it's successful, which I think it will be. But like I said, I feel like it's going to be more controversy, especially in the beginning when it's implemented. And we'll see. But at the end of the day, I agree with you guys. I think in the long run, there will be a net positive when it comes to all this. But all right, let's move on to next topic that we have here, which is Hutchinson. Remember this guy? He's a player we have at Chelsea that's currently on loan.
Oh, he was never going to make it. Look at that name.
Come
on, man. Imagine seeing... Is he actually?
Well,
imagine seeing Hutchinson in the Champions League final, man.
I'll read this. This guy has algebra on this thing. I spelled it wrong. This is not the first time I've spelled it wrong. Okay. So Omari Hutchinson's entourage are very confident the winger will have talks with Chelsea over extending his contract at the club, according to Bobby Vincent. Ahmed, I mean, you seem to know more about his current loan spell that I or Chris or maybe even Oliver does. So you want to speak on this one, my friend?
From what I know, he's doing really well. He's having a really good spell currently at Ipswich. They're currently second in the league, if I'm not mistaken, too, in the Championship. So he's doing quite well, to be honest.
Wait, second in the league, meaning that if they keep it up, they're gonna get promoted to Premier League?
Yes, they'll be guaranteed promotion. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
And then he gets promoted to Chelsea, and then Potts saying, "Yeah, nah, you ain't playing."
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about players that got promoted for sure. We're gonna have a
give me some Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, do you know what position he's playing at Ipswich? Is he playing left wing or right wing?
I think
Wait,
oh my God, Chris!
Oh
my God!
Oh, I'm getting confused with someone else then at this point.
He's
Okay.
playing, if I'm not mistaken, either on the wing.
It.
He plays on the wing for them or on the strike, basically.
Omari,
Humphreys.
I hope you know how to play right back. Knowing if we stay with Poch, this guy's going to be played out of position. And listen, I wasn't that impressed with him when he made his debut under Potter. Unlike Dr. Fafana impressed me, and who else made that? Madueke made a debut under Potter. So did there was other academy players. Vale, I think Harvey Vale made a few appearances.
Lewis Hall, technically, yeah.
Lewis Hall as well under Potter, and they had some promises, but of all of them, Hutchinson was the one that least impressed me.
You do.
It may have been because of physicality. Go ahead, Oliver.
You have to remember though, like players like Lewis Hall, that is definitely more of a deviation from the norm. It's very common for a player like this because you got to remember we got Omari Hutchinson straight from the Arsenal academy, and so from that he literally just been playing with Chelsea's academy. He has no senior football experience, so we can't go around saying that like everyone's going to be a Kylian Mbappe. They're going to be great at 17 years old. So I understood it. He had his little thing under Potter where he came on for one game and didn't do very well. And at the end of the day, that's why he's on loan. So I'm just glad he's doing well at the end of the day. That's all. We just got to hope progress continues.
I had a quick look at him. He doesn't seem to start a lot of games for Ipswich, though, right?
No, he's an impact sub, but he's been doing well in that role.
Yeah. So.
Listen, not everyone's a driller at the end of the day. They're not doing the drilling.
In all fairness,
I was thinking he's 20, right?
Yeah, he's 20. I was thinking of Humphreys because of the H's or something. I don't know why. I forgot about Hutchinson as well. So I don't know much about him. I just know he's an impact.
I figured people would forget about Hutchinson.
Well, we have too many. We're signing all these youngsters. Like I don't know if he's gonna make it. How many youngsters we also signing from Brazil and all that? Like,
listen, big up the youngsters, man.
He's probably here to make pure profit for Chelsea. That's what he's here for.
Listen, bring me more youngsters.
He's not homegrown though. He doesn't qualify as homegrown yet. He's Premier League homegrown actually. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Your profit 30 million plus.
Listen, man, I'm here for the young brothers, making us homegrown FC. We love it around here. Bring him to the bridge.
We got him for free as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, man.
Yeah, so that would literally be a pure profit, even if he wasn't homegrown.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Future pure profit player, man.
We'll see what happens with. Let's see what happens with him. I'm not holding my breath. I feel.
You got to remember he's competing with he's got like Angelo, who's on loan as well, doing very well, and he's got a higher ceiling as things stand. He's a better ability player. On ability right now, he's better. He's got Noni Madueke, who's already in the squad. We'll see how that goes. Cole Palmer, obviously, he's the starter. He's not getting over Cole Palmer right now, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, his chances seem slim to make it to Chelsea, but who knows? A surprise could come and it changes the whole thing. So, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Hutchinson as well as Moreira and a whole lot of the youth that are. But that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic I had planned for you guys, which is Kendrick Paez and also Caicedo. Just a small bit of news, nothing too crazy. Apparently, we've given him some security because there's some crazy things happening in Ecuador right now, and so as a means for the ownership to kind of protect their asset and also kind gesture, I provided Kendrick Paez and Moises Caicedo's family with security. So right here's a tweet from Matt Law. Chelsea are believed to be paying around-the-clock security for Kendrick Paez and his family amid ongoing unrest in Ecuador. The same offer was made to Moises Caicedo, according to Matt Law. I think this is a nice thing to do. Definitely makes him feel more valued. I remember, Ali, I think last month we spoke about how John Obi Mikel and Roman had that relationship about John Obi's family getting kidnapped and, Roman offering, hey, we can solve this for you, right? So I'm glad to see that our ownership, in a sense, is doing that for Paez and Caicedo's family. But this is not really much to talk about on this one. But you guys' thoughts? I guess it's a good gesture, right? We agree, or fucking fraud owners in Clown Lake Capital.
Yeah, yeah. I remember, Marshall. People were saying that Bodie would have left Mikel's family to die or something.
People really said that.
I'm sure I've seen a tweet of someone saying that. I'm sure I've seen it. Listen, does it sound out of the realm of possibility with this fan base? Come on, let's think about it. You know what I mean?
That is not
someone.
I could imagine it.
It's not. No way.
People and their agendas are a little wild, man.
It's Twitter, man. What do you expect? Well, X.
That's true.
Exactly.
There's a lot of sick people on Twitter. It is, the Twitter is for the mentally ill. I get, like,
That's why
that's what my thought is. I mean, I don't think I've posted anything in a while, to be honest. I haven't been on in a while. But I mean, other than I don't know what else to say on this, to be honest. It's a nice kind gesture, so it's a way to show that the ownership at least are competent enough to know that hey, this is probably something nice we should do, and have done it. I don't know if anyone else has any other thoughts on this.
Yeah, let's just move on this one.
Yeah,
It's hard to say much because I don't know about any of you guys, but I have no idea what the context is behind this whole Ecuador situation.
There's a war between the government and the drug cartel currently going on. That's why.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gotten bad to the point where, like, I think I heard in the news the other day.
They took over like the news.
A news channel, a news station.
Really?
Yeah, they took over a whole news station, which is kind of wild. But hey, my thoughts and prayers to everyone in Ecuador going through that, and hopefully everyone is gonna be okay and things get resolved sooner rather than later. But okay, we move on to the next one, and that's Ahmed. You weren't here for this last discussion, so I'm interested to hear your take on this whole situation. But I'm going to start off with reading the tweets and then going from there. So let's start talking about Jose potentially coming to Chelsea. Well, let's see. All right, first tweet we have here is from James Horncastle from The Athletic. So Jose Mourinho would appeal to the Chelsea owners, Todd Bowley and Clear Lake Capital. I still see Chelsea as being a home for him. The prospect of a third act in a city that became his home, it would be enticing. Then moving on to the next one, it's such an irresistible big lever that Chelsea's owners can pull, and bringing Jose Mourinho back. The chances that at least one of Todd Bowley or Begdad Bali wanting to pull it at some point in the next year or two are high. Then we have here from Team Talk exclusive. Team Talk can reveal that Saudi club Al Shabab are interested in Jose Mourinho, who has been linked with Newcastle and England jobs recently. And then here we have oh wait, nope, not this. I jumped the gun, guys. Sorry. So yeah, my opinion on this. If the ownership were to do this, I don't think it's coming from a place of like, this guy is the right manager and this guy can take us forward and he's the elite guy. I think it's from a perspective of the same frame of thought that came into bringing back Lampard as a caretaker manager. I think if things go bad, they will heavily consider pulling the trigger on Jose Mourinho, which at first probably would be not nice, and I could see us getting some results and improving as a team. But I think halfway through next season or whenever the sacking happens, I think give it about 6 months or so, and we'll start seeing a decline again. And in the long run, I just don't think Jose's the guy, and I don't think the owners have the best of intention for the club when it comes to bringing him back. I think it's just a PR move. That's my opinion. And listen, this is me being critical of the owners. Stop saying I back the owners for everything. I don't think this is a good move. I don't think they're doing this out of a competent move at all. I think this is simply PR to just appease to the fan base again.
I think he could steady the ship though, like to the right direction of like moving to like winning trophies with Chelsea. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying Jose's, is the like number one tier of like managers to get. Like there's other managers you could get and what could do maybe a better job. But I don't think when you say Lampard, right? I don't think it's going to be nowhere near the level as like Lampard, like caretaker level. Like Jose is.
No, but it's the same idea. You know why they brought
understand.
Lampard, right?
Okay, I understand the PR thing. Like, he's
That's the only reason I brought that up.
A lot of fans love him. Like me, I love Jose, and every time he comes to Chelsea, he wins trophies. And even when he comes to like Man United, he was the best manager since Ferguson. He's still to this day. He's better than that bold forward right there. Still, like he's done more than that guy over that club. Still, he's done more than Ollie, and he's done more than any other one there. And he almost won a Tottenham a trophy as well. Like I said before, but they pulled the trigger on him before that final, so we never know. But I would like, there's other managers. If we could get like a Simeone, because I want like a Jose style in a way. if we can get Simeone top tier, I know it's unrealistic. I would get that, but like, I don't know. I think Jose can do something with this team and actually like steer them to the right, idea of like winning trophies. And say we sat Pochettino just before the final, and Jose's there for it. We have a good chance winning. I think we have a solid chance, especially against like Liverpool or something.
Wait, Chris, you said Jose Sa. You know that's a goalkeeper, right?
What?
Or did did I hear you wrong?
I think I may have said it too quickly, and yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, Jose Sa is a goalkeeper, my friend.
No.
Unless there is a manager called Jose Sa, I don't know about it.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think Jose's the worst idea. I would welcome it. I'm not saying signing for like a 3-year deal or something. I'm saying 2 years max with Jose because you don't know what you're gonna get. But every time he's gone to Chelsea, it has been a success. I'm not saying he's going to win the league again, but who knows? You never know with Jose. He might surprise all of us again. But
I hate to say this. I really hate to say this because I do respect the shit.
I think you win a trophy Chelsea, by the way.
I think
you will. I have a strong feeling. In the European, like, say we've got Europa League or even Conference League, he's winning one of them.
Okay. Well, okay. I back to what I was going to say, though, and then I'm going to build off of what you just said there, Chris. I hate to say this, but I feel like nowadays, I think when it comes to club football, Jose is starting to be reduced to nothing more than a manager bounce manager. Like that might be a hot take of mine. I do respect the shit out of Jose. I think he's one of the most elite managers of all time, easily in my top 5 managers of all time. But I feel like nowadays it's been the same tactic. It's been the same, no adaptation to the new game. I think nowadays his style of managing, the style of play has been phased out to the point where now he's been reduced to nothing more than a manager bounce manager, if you know what I mean by that. But going off of what you said, and I'm going to ask the panel this, I mean, do you guys think that if Jose were to come back, and it's going along my theory too, if he's a bounce back manager or a manager bounce manager, do you guys think that if Jose were to come back to Chelsea at this point in time, we would actually win a trophy with him? And Oliver, I'll start with you, and then, Ahmed, I would like to hear what you have to say too.
Do you mean if he came in this instant when we're about to play Middlesbrough?
I would say, I guess, Chris, you tell me.
Well, for me, even if it comes before Middlesbrough, Middlesbrough and all that in the final, I think there's a good chance he wins it. Even next season, where if we get a European competition, I think he wins it. Because we're not going to get Champions League football probably, so I think he wins one of the two. And maybe we go again with an FA Cup or something. I think Jose is like a good chance we could win a trophy. He can do it. Like he can't, like he's done it at Roma as well, and he's gotten to a bunch of finals too. And they're not exactly like a rich club and all that. Like they're not even a great club really. Like they haven't got all amazing players in their squad, have they? So yeah, I would take it because Chelsea's got a way better squad than Roma, and you could say he might ruin a few young players, but like I don't know, like with that, I don't think we can really buy like a whole new squad for Jose anyway. So Jose has to know this is the squad he's going to have, and with a few different players, maybe Osimhen or something, and that'd be very good for Jose. I think he would like Osimhen, so I think Jose would win trophies at Chelsea if we went there. Just not the big like Premier Leagues or Champions Leagues.
I mean, for me, I have to question like winning like a Europa League or something, because for every, of course he won it with Manchester United, well done. You also got knocked out of the Europa League with Spurs by Dinamo Zagreb, and you lost in the Europa League final with Roma to a relegation battling Sevilla team. So I don't see the train of thought there. Maybe he wins a domestic cup, although we did go over in the previous stream that his run to the Carabao Cup final with Spurs actually was not that impressive besides us. And even with us, that was against Frank Lampard's Chelsea, so easy stuff. Listen, if Jose comes back, I respect the hell out of the guy. We all can't express that enough. But whatever process, whatever project we're in now, it dies when Jose Mourinho comes back to this football club. And that's not because he's been a terrible manager for us or anything, but it's just not a fit. And he is a guy that needs it his way or the highway. And these owners clearly, they seem to want someone that wants to collaborate with them. And Mourinho is not that guy. So I'm totally going to agree with Marshall on the fact that it would purely be a fan appeasement initiative to bring him back rather than any kind of long term.
You agree with, because like obviously the Athletic is a very reputable source, people believe it like gospel. When they say that Bowley and Iqbali do favor a manager like Jose, you think it is PR? For the sake of PR, not for the sake of results or the project.
Yeah, I do believe that because, you know, from everything we've heard about this ownership, they want to work with young players. That's not Mourinho's thing. And they want someone that wants to collaborate with them. Again, that's not Mourinho's thing. Mourinho wants it his way. He wants his targets. And if he doesn't get them, then, you know, it's going to be bad times.
Ahmed, what do you think about Jose potentially? Do you think he could win a trophy if we're to come to Chelsea?
No, he would not win a trophy when he comes to Chelsea. I'm going to just keep it very blunt with you. And, like, it's just not happening. And I think, you know, we need to get our heads out of the clouds when it comes to Jose Mourinho. Listen, Mourinho gave me one of the best Chelsea teams of all time. That's not from 04-05, and then obviously him winning the trophy again back in 14-15. That's all right. I respect Jose Mourinho a lot. Of course, many people at the club do, but the reason why people want Jose Mourinho is a four-letter word called aura. That's what it is. Like, you know, the amount of memes you will see about Jose Mourinho when he's crying and like, oh, aura, man, or like he'll be smiling or on the phone from like his old times at Chelsea or stuff like that. That is, I feel like a big part of it is that. That's one of the biggest parts of the reason why that is the case, in my personal opinion. That you see that happening. I think, yeah, if we've been honest, yeah, you look at the squad right now. Mourinho, yeah, probably would be demanding right now, yeah, 4 or 5 players, yeah, 30 plus that would have to come into the squad. Would be 30 plus.
Wait, what do you mean 30 plus age?
Yes, 30.
Nah, like, come on, it's not gonna be 30 plus. Like,
yes, he
like,
will.
Every player is gonna be demanding a 30 plus age.
Yes,
player.
he will be asking for a lot of age players. No.
I think above 25.
Bro, he will be asking for quite a bunch of old players that are not that are either
he likes experienced players, but that doesn't mean
that they are basically essentially either one season or only have one season left in them, or after or they will have like what's it called, yeah, or they're already like past their prime essentially. And if that's the case, how is then the club going to be able to move them? You know, we already have almost a completely new squad of young and up and coming players. Mourinho's not going to work with that. We know this already.
Mourinho wants Tammy, right? How old is Tammy?
Mourinho, the only guy that Mourinho has brought in that Chris keeps on talking about is Tammy Abraham. Every other person that if you look at Mourinho's.
Oh wait, he's 30 now. Old
if you look at the whole squad that Mourinho's brought, Dybala was he brought him.
He was 29, I think, when he signed him.
Yep. So again, so you only just proving my point. Dybala 29, Belotti on a free 32, 33 years old. He brought in someone else that's, I think, if I'm not mistaken as well, who's 28, 29 years old.
Yes, I think did he bring in Gini Wijnaldum?
Yeah, bringing Gini Wijnaldum to you on loan, right? The only guy that you can probably say, that's not the case, obviously you can say maybe Tammy Abraham, but the reason why he brought in Tammy Abraham was that he was already scoring at Chelsea, and he was the cheapest striker who could also give him some level of like productivity that you could see.
Well, Roma, you take what you can get sometimes, though, because Roma is not like a club what they can like get all these amazing players and mid 25s, great players. So Jose's got to look for experience who are on a cheap but a bit older with Roma as well, I think. So I don't think he's gonna be demanding like 30-year-olds like for every like 5 players or something. Like I don't think he'd even get that. The board wouldn't even.
No, he would demand 5 players. The problem is that, Christian, I don't think.
Do you think he'd be happy with Usherman though? By the way.
Listen, you're only naming one player, bro. He's not going to be asking for one player. He's going to be asking for more.
Do you think he will place in midfield?
Listen, knowing Jose Mourinho, he would be asking for 5 players. I know this guy, like the left hand. We've watched him, Chris. You know this. You should know this as well. The reason why the Roma situation for me, what differentiates it more so than anything else is because it's similar to my guy Ancelotti when he went to Everton, in the sense that they were just doing it for it was a nice side gig, nice little side mission for them when they were doing their thing. But if they were at a real big club, they would be demanding, asking for 5 new players. Literally, we know it, bro. It's cash money.
I don't disbelieve he'd be demanding players. Like he'd want a striker probably. He'd like if Chelsea go after.
No, but you and I
he would be very happy
the
with that
striker.
one. I know
But
that.
listen, knowing him,
And he is
would
getting
want
to that experience age. He's
he
24 years old.
He would want another striker. He'd probably be like, fuck Palmer, fuck Madueke.
I don't know.
He
With
would
Cole
ask
Palmer,
for that.
I don't know. I think if he sees like talented, like if he's doing well for Chelsea, like Cole Palmer,
Bro,
and he
love
he
and
probably like
trust.
Sterling still.
He sold Juan
Hold
Mata.
on. Yeah, I was about to say, Chris.
Yeah,
he sold Juan Mata.
Love and
for
trust,
fuck's
bro.
sake, man,
In Cuckoo
I
will
can't
play.
defend that. I don't know why he did
Listen,
that.
in
I can
Cuckoo,
understand it.
literally, listen, I'm telling you right now, he'll probably get another striker, which we've spoken about. Sterling, probably Osimhen, and then he'll bring in another completely new winger that's in their extremely late 20s or early 30s that he'd bring in. Cash money, I know him that well. He'd probably be like, yeah, I need another left back. He probably knowing him, yeah, he probably wouldn't actually like Enzo. Knowing him, he's probably the type that would be like, yeah, I need another midfielder. Because he'd be like, the guys that we have are too young, and he probably would not want to use Ugo Chukwu, Santos, Casadei, or someone else like that. You then look at the centre back situation. He probably would actually like Disasi, unironically. He'd probably like Disasi, but he'd probably be like, I want another centre back, because he probably wouldn't rate by the issue and thinking like that. And then the goalkeeper situation, he'd probably be like, I need the old head, experienced head. That's going to be a good shot stopper. So then Sanchez is out of the picture, and so is Petrovic. So this is the thing for me. Literally, that's what Mourinho would ask for, and
I don't think he's going to get
the idea.
If he went to Chelsea.
I that's what I'm saying to you, because even if he was to come to Chelsea, he wouldn't get that anyway. But this is the other thing for me, right? Which is that I don't think there would be no bounce back that would happen. Literally, I'll be honest with you guys. Like I feel like this bounce back that Mourinho is extremely overhyped. That would not happen at the club. I personally also feel, Mourinho's tactics, respectfully, it cannot work now in the EPL. It can't work in EPL.
I feel like it's been found out by now.
It's not even that it's been found out. It's just that the tactics now are.
Well, it has changed a lot, like over the years.
Like the mid-table clubs that he had a decade ago. They can destroy you with those. They can destroy you. They play tactics now. The lower mid-table clubs can probably beat you with those tactics as well. So the game has well and truly changed. Yeah,
bro. He literally unlocked the final form of Harry Kane and took that Spurs team nowhere, despite having that level of talent.
Well, he could have won him a trophy within second.
Question.
In the league, though, Chris, what did he do in the league? Nothing.
Yeah, he didn't do.
Part of it also for me, is that we need to also realize, guys, the squad. Mourinho is a win now coach. That's probably if we are not in a win now position. We need a man that's going to develop players. Mourinho is not developing players at this stage in his career. He's not developing players. At this
Scott literally said this in the other day. You bring Mourinho in when you're on the cusp.
Yes, you bring. Listen, I would even argue. I know that Chris has talked about Simeone. I don't want Simeone at this club, by the way, either. And there's a reason why I don't want him either, which is that his tactics have not changed either. His tactics is really just Griezmann or bust. Like if you watch Atletico, bro, his tactics well and truly are Griezmann or bust. That's all it is.
Well, he's a very defensive manager, and hard.
The thing is, Chris, I'll be honest with you, bro. He probably is failing in ways that no one wants to talk about, because there have been multiple opportunities where Real Madrid have been really bad, Barcelona have been bad, and he has not been able to take advantage of that. And you can't, and that is a criticism on him. It has to be a criticism. Already winning 2 La Ligas in 10 years, with a weakened Barcelona and listen, a period where Real Madrid were not playing for the La Liga and literally were going for he was going for whatever that's going for UCL. Literally, that's going for that UCL period. Bro, he's only got 2 in 10 if I'm not mistaken. Currently, in his period, that is disappointing, bro. That's terrible.
If you look at you say broken Barcelona all that, but like Barcelona still spent a shit ton of money on players. Like if you look at
not really.
No. If you look at Atletico Madrid's team, right? Like they got Axel Witsel, I think, still like in defense somewhere. They got like that Spanish Mario centre back. Like he's not like world class. They got barely any world class players. The only world class player they really got, or a high elite player anyway, is Griezmann, and Levante is good. I hear Levante. Obviously, I don't watch Levante like all that, but I hear Levante is a very versatile, good player anyway. And obviously, they still got Koke in that team, and
So,
Koke's been there for years.
I wanna hit this point to Vic. Yeah, do you know why that had to happen?
They got Sal Nagaz as well. Sorry, they haven't got the greatest.
Obviously, injuries played a part in it. The other reason was because they spent so much money on for Mourinho in his first year. It meant that they were extremely low on finances, and it forced Mourinho to bring in these guys to do jobs for him. That's what it was. Like no one wants to add that context too.
I would.
And once those guys came back from injury, because I watched Roma. Once those guys came back from injury, bye, mate. You know what I mean? Hold bench. The stars are back. That's what it was. We know. Listen, that's the way Mourinho plays. We know Mourinho. Like. Why are we kidding
I
ourselves?
understand it though. The fans still love him. They see no wrong in what Jose's done because he's actually been their most successful manager for the last 15 years.
Chris, hold on, Chris. That doesn't mean shit to me, because at the end of the day, you can have someone as charming as Jose.
It's not about just charming.
And it is the charm for him, because
I really think that is the charm, Chris. Sorry.
He's
a likable guy.
Here's the thing. Let me give something, a little perspective to you, Chris. Based on what I'm hearing from Lewis, Josh, people who go to the matches, right now the stadium seems to be more in support of Poch than the players. They seem to be blaming on the players. Now, why is that? Think about it. When Poch goes into those press conferences, how often do you hear him say those buzzwords like Chelsea, we must compete. This is Chelsea of the highest level. We must, do all this and that.
Yeah.
The fans like to hear that. Fans like me,
passion and desire,
and Oliver, we see past that. We see the results. Actions for us speak louder than words. So we know he's being a hypocrite. He's lying through his teeth. But sometimes the passion and desire is all the fans want to hear. So when you hear someone like Poch, who was an ex-Spurs and who we here agree is one of the biggest reasons why this team is failing right now, and then you have the match-going fans backing him more than they back the players, that speaks a lot about what they see in the media. So for me, the whole argument that the fan Roma seems to still love Mourinho, I don't give a shit, because right now the way Mourinho is playing, two things I wanted to point out is, okay, right now it seems like Mourinho does. I've noticed a pattern with Mourinho. Around the second season, when he isn't as backed as he was in the first season, he starts to kind of just have an attitude about it and express it to the board. Kind of how Conte did in his second season. Kind of just plays the shit players to show the board, look, this is the shit you give me. And this is what happens when you don't back me. That's not going to do him any well at Chelsea. And it's not doing him well right now at Roma. You see the way that they're playing right now at Roma, and Ahmed, you can attest to me. I could be just talking on my ass, but this is what I've heard. Apparently at Roma, he's just playing hoofball to Lukaku and hoping for the best.
It's Dybala and Bus, bro. He's playing Dybala and Bus ball.
Yeah, Dybala is their main guy.
That's what I mean, Chris. It's the same as last season. It's the same as last season too. Last two seasons, it's been Dybala and Bus, because Tammy Abraham had a crazy fall off in the second season, which remember I've spoken about that with you guys previously. And Vic, what the 130 million in Serie A is a lot of money. Not many clubs spent 130 million in Serie A, big man. And this is the point,
130 million when?
He spent in his first season. Remember when he brought in Tammy, Dybala, and all these other guys I was speaking about?
What's Dybala off him?
It was, I think it was,
well, you'd have to give obviously that.
I can't remember. It was something.
I'll look it up for you guys.
Yeah, but
wait, what's that?
But the thing is, that caused by that fee that they paid, they were paying for, is what caused the club.
It was only €6 million. Wow.
Because it was his last season, I think. But
it says Dybala, who was linked to the transfer to Serie A Inter Milan after his deal with Juve expired, has signed a 3-year contract with Roma. The deal is worth €6 million. So he went on a free. It looks like. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing I don't think Vic is not understanding yet is that they spent too much money on him in the first season just to help him out to win the Conference League. Because he won Conference League in the first season, if I'm not mistaken, no? Right?
Yes.
They won Conference League in their first season, yeah.
Yeah. So people seem to be forgetting this. They overspent for him to win Conference League.
Like,
And then that caused,
a
lot of financial pressure on the club, and he knows that because this is Serie A. Serie A is Serie A, the league, is not a financially viable solution currently.
Did they just change the whole defense or something? Because
And
I
then that
can't
meant-
work out what they spend it on.
And then that meant, the second and third season, he was forced to play these young players that people were talking about. So like, this is what we're talking about, bro. And again, it is a criticism on him that he spent that much money when he could have been smarter about it, or the club could have been smarter about it and helped him out to do something smart about it. But that's all it is for me, personally.
Well, the whole 13 players debut thing is just literally Frank Lampard transfer ban settings.
So
Yeah.
You had no one else.
But again, Vic, here you're asking for me to show some respect to Mourinho because he brought people back into the stadium, bro. I'm not gonna fuck this up. Respectfully, big up to Mourinho, but we shouldn't be expecting this from Mourinho. We don't need to be respecting Mourinho for bringing fans back to a club after spending 130 million. You should be expecting him to do so.
Yeah, I mean, touching on the subject of Mourinho, and Vic, this might give you a perspective that it might make you think.
Am I wrong in saying that, by the way, Marshall?
What?
Before you continue, that if you see someone spend 130 million euros to fix a squad and he brings in Tammy Abraham, Paulo Dybala, you should be expecting you have Pellegrini there, you have Cristante there, you should be expecting your team or your club to be able to do that. Like, what are we kidding?
I feel like.
No, I'm just being honest.
They just spent 130 million. Yeah,
No, I get you being honest. No, I don't disagree because I feel like it's whoever disagrees with what you're saying right now about Jose de Roma and is a Chelsea fan. I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy there because just because it's 130 million, that 130 million euros for Roma is big. It's like I think for them it could be.
That's like what Everton spent, bro.
Not even that, but like let's bring it to a more personal level. That's their equivalent of what Chelsea spent this summer for Poch, and look what Poch is doing, and look at the criticism we have for Poch. Vic, you included in that.
Right.
So if we're gonna have that same exact criticism and that same exact energy for Poch and how much we spent and the owners and all that stuff, we gotta have the same exact energy for Roma too. Because even though it's not $1 billion, for them it's a fuck ton of money. Just like for us, $1 billion is a fuck ton of money. Now, real quick, Chris, because I do want to move on to these other topics on Roma.
Can I just say about
Jose.
Roma one
I
sec
hate you,
though?
Chris, but go ahead.
Yeah, but Roma didn't even spend nothing the next season. They literally sold 80, 74
Because
million.
FFP, because they didn't have the money to anymore.
Yeah,
It's
but
like how we're not
because
spending
they
anything
splash-
right now in January.
Because they splashed all their cash.
I agree. Yeah, they definitely splashed a lot in the first season, yes, but it kind of evened itself out in the first two seasons or so. But okay, all right.
But you could, Vic. But
if you
again, even right now, you can ask rational Arsenal fans, and they're not very happy with how things are going because, as far as I'm concerned, Arsenal right now, without any trophies outside of that Carabao Cup they won that first season, which I think that was more a testament to the work of. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. A testament to the work of what's his name? Oh my God, the Aston Villa manager. I'm drawing a blank.
Dude.
Emery.
Well, Emery.
Emery got them that far, and Arteta just came in and finished the job. Am I incorrect in saying that?
No. Well, first of all, Arteta won the FA Cup, not the Carabao Cup.
Oh, yes.
Second of all, because Emery got sacked in November, December of 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the FA Cup
FA
Cup hadn't even started. So actually, Arteta did carry them through. But he literally
fair
relied on
enough.
Aubameyang's individual
Correct me if I'm
brilliance
wrong,
to win it
'cause
back.
I wasn't sure about that. Okay.
He literally had to rely on
Outside of that-
Aubameyang's individual brilliance to win in that
Outside
trophy.
of that, most Arsenal fans are not happy being back where they were when Wenger was over. Just another top four side. Just like I'm not happy just being a top four side. I want to challenge the Premier League. I want to win more trophies and so on and so forth. So that's where I stand with that. But, let's go back to the topic of Jose. And I had a few things I wanted to ask you guys based on what you just said, right? Earlier in the conversation, you mentioned, Ahmed, about if Jose were to come in, he would want world-class players and so on and so forth. You mentioned Sterling would probably be one of the players that he would stick with. He would probably want another striker He'd probably, and we can get Osimhen potentially for him. I was going to say, do you think Olise is a player that he would actually want that we are also interested in?
No.
Okay. You want to elaborate
listen,
on that?
like
I feel like Olise would be a type of player
again,
he would like.
Again, Marshall, like I think what you're not understanding here is that this guy would want players that are currently either in their prime or just past their prime. That is the type of players that this guy would go for. Like there is no doubt about that in my personal opinion when it comes to Mourinho. This guy, like, even look at United, by the way. If you look at United, barring Lindelof, who apparently he wanted, right? All of the other players that he wanted, again, were late.
I didn't know. He wanted Lindelof.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I swear, Jose said in the press conference that you never even heard of him.
Oh, is it? Maybe just me.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did as well because Lindelof
that one,
potential
Benfica player.
Yeah.
But like barring them, all of the players they got from United were late players. Zlatan, people forget about him.
Zlatan was good for him though in the first season, especially for the injury.
No, but again, how old was Zlatan when they got him? Late.
But it was on a free, right? So I kind of understand it. You don't want to miss out.
No, but I'm not talking about the money though. Here, I'm just talking about the players that and the age.
How old was Mkhitaryan at the time?
Oh my god, I forgot about that player.
27.
He was in mid-20s, wasn't he? It's like he wasn't in his 30s, and he got in his 30s later.
Yeah, because he got Mkhitaryan before the Arsenal swap.
He definitely flopped to United as well. So
the Alexis Sanchez thing as well.
Yeah.
This actually leads me to my next question, which Vic, this might sway you one way or the other. Let's see where your loyalty stands and what you actually care or don't care about. You just mentioned bringing back washed up, older players, experienced players, right? Guys, what do you think are the chances that if Jose were to come to Chelsea, either the rest of the season or next season? Well, how do you guys feel about him potentially bringing back Romelu Lukaku?
He best not.
No,
because we moved on from him now.
Bro.
Does he like him very much?
Listen. First of all, I am in no way fucking vouching for this. I don't want Jose back. I respect him, but I don't think he's the right manager for the job now. And I definitely don't want Lukaku back. But based on what you guys are saying, and based on how he's performing at Roma, I think he's already at double-digit goals right now at Roma. And at Roma, he's actually looking like the player he used to be. Sorta. Maybe less so. But regardless, he's been getting goals. He's been getting results at Roma. He has some form going for him at Roma. I could see a future where if we were to bring Jose would request to keep Romelu Lukaku. Because he's on loan right now. He's not on a permanent. He's going to come back at the end of the season.
No. I agree with what you're saying in the sense of if he maybe comes in now. But the problem, I will say this again. The Lukaku problem is deeper than just, what's it called? Him as the player and his ability. The issue right now is more of what's happened with him and the club, what he's done there. And like the fans not accepting him. I think for me also, what we need to realize, is that
Vic, I'm just making it clear. Sorry, Ahmed. Just hold your thought for a second. I'm just making it clear. If Jose were to come back and bring Lukaku, you would be totally okay looking past everything Lukaku said about Chelsea, the disrespect and the amount of scrutiny that he brought to the club in a time where we didn't need that. You would be okay looking past
the fan base are that fickle, man. They are that fickle.
Listen, I know the
Mourinho co-sign would
if you do one or the other, it's whatever, it's your opinion. But
Mourinho co-sign would genuinely be enough to make people forgive Lukaku, and that's
Vic, I'll also ask you this: would you not mind Lukaku coming back to the club because of Mourinho, or would you just not mind Lukaku at all? I'm just curious.
The thing is, though, Mourinho, bro,
Mourinho's a catalyst for you, Vic.
The thing is, bro, Lukaku's not been great either in Serie A this season. If you actually been watching Lukaku this season, he's not been great. Like, this is why, I find it very hard, when people talk about this. Lukaku, yes, he scored, 15 goals, right, for us in the league. But, guys, he was not great. There were a lot of...
That wasn't the league, by the way. That was all comps.
That's all. Sorry, that's even worse than all comps. If it's all comps, then it makes it even worse because this guy was meant to be in his prime. Now, while you can obviously, there's caveats of like maybe we obviously weren't creating enough chance for him. Remember the 7 touch and everything. But the thing is, bro, if we can't play to his style of play, which is counter-attacking football, transitional football, which you're not playing, then Lukaku for us is worthless. He's worthless.
He's actually, I think.
But that is where the Mourinho thing makes sense though, because he would play that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just to play devil's advocate.
And no, I hear you, bro. And then that for me is the issue, though, because if that's the case, by the way, and if that is the case, then you lose a lot of the qualities of the players we have, the technical ability in transition, a lot of the stuff that we brought these guys for. It's not working, bro. What's the point? We don't have wingers to do hoofball with, by the way. If we want to do this long ball stuff that like I've seen a lot of people want the long ball stuff. Who do we have to do that, guys, right now?
For wingers?
Yeah, for wingers. We don't have that. We don't have.
Well, Rich James got a good ping on him, but
For
no.
wingers.
No, I'm saying wingers. Yeah, from a winger perspective, yeah, we don't have that right now.
Probably Cole Palmer's our best to do it.
He does not play hoofball. This guy.
I know. I'm just saying.
Enzo would do it though.
Well, yeah, but he's not. We're talking about wingers, so I'm.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'm not talking about people who can do long passes. I'm talking about people who will run and have the pace to get in behind to do that sort of thing. You don't have that, bro. Right? That's the only thing.
Mudryk.
He wouldn't want to work with Mudryk. I promise you.
Yes,
probably not.
And again, Mudryk would not be working here at Chelsea Football Club right now.
Chelsea, Chris. He had Mohamed Salah here.
I said he probably wouldn't.
What we need to realise, I
don't know what you heard from me.
Big up to Chelsea Blue.
He was already here in the league and he wasn't even competing with those two.
Can I say with the Lukaku thing? I never gave a fuck what he said, but like he's past his prime now. Like this season, like he's literally got one more GA and Jackson, and he's played like over 100 more minutes than Jackson this season if you compare the stats as like goals and assists and all that. Like Lukaku's only scored 9 in Serie A. Like I'm telling you, like the Premier League's a lot harder than Serie A. Like to score goals.
Also, I think with Lukaku as well. I think didn't he get a hamstring injury last season and he's lost a lot of pace.
Oh, I think
the little pace he already had, but he's lost more.
Yeah.
He's lost a bit of burst.
So,
he did a hamstring for 4 weeks.
I wanted to speak about this little point that Chelsea Blue brought up, which is that he's going to provide competition for Pep Klopp. He's not providing what competition is he providing for Pep Klopp? What was the competition that we are so-called saying that he's going to provide for us? No, come on, bro. Let's be real, boys. Let's be real. Experience. The problem right now at Chelsea is not experience. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Chelsea's issue right now, the squad issue at Chelsea is not experience. Yeah,
entirely.
No,
it's a minuscule problem. There is. I feel like the club does need experience, but it's not as big as it's blown out to be.
Right now at Chelsea, the experience is not the issue. Literally, guys, like let's not kid ourselves. The experience only becomes an issue if you're thinking about top 4 and stuff like that right now. Right now, we shouldn't be. I don't think that's the case.
So, well, actually, go ahead, Ahmed. Finish your point.
Because for me, if this season should be more than anything, a developmental season where we are looking to be building up these players and getting these guys to the level that we need them to such a season, we can be actually doing what we need to do with Europa League football. That was the plan for me always. That's what I always had in mind. But that's not happening right now. That's why for me the issue right now is a tactical issue. It's always been a tactical issue. Jose Mourinho is not solving it with a tactical issue. We know what Mourinho is going to do. Hoofball FC, long ball FC, extremely defensive-minded football, which is going to hamper a lot of the players that we have right now.
Yeah. On the topic that you were saying right there about top 4 and all that, the other thing that someone mentioned it, either you or Oliver, is that Mourinho feels more like a manager that you come here to finish the job, right? Now, let's say by some miracle, Poch ends up getting into Europe. Then let's just make it hypothetical here, right? Poch finishes in Europe in the table, but he drops out of both the competitions, gets eliminated. So we end up finishing in 6th or 5th by some miracle, which it could happen. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath, but if that were to happen in a hypothetical world, then is that the right time to bring back Jose?
1 second. Jose is not winning this title, big man. Like, I don't know why.
He won't win us the Premier League, I think. Yeah.
No, but wait. Marshall, you have to be on the cusp of winning a title. I'm not having, we finished 5th, bring in Mourinho.
No, not a title. I just mean finishing job as in winning competitions. Being in Europe now. You're in Europe, you're in Europa. Guys, we're not going to be in the Champions League, I don't think. Maybe for 5th we are, but I don't think Champions League. Let's bring it back. Europa, 6th place, or Conference
I'd be humble for Europa League.
But like I say, even with the Europa League, his Spurs team got knocked out by Dinamo Zagreb.
Yeah,
and his Roma team lost to a relegation quality Sevilla team.
Can we also be honest, guys?
No. They would. Okay, if you remember Sevilla, they was having problems because of the manager. That's why they was in a low position. But then they sacked the manager, and then they started getting more results. You can't just say that Sevilla team in Europa League.
Sevilla wouldn't have been in. Sevilla would not have been in that final if it weren't for a Man United clown show in the quarter or semi-final, whatever it was.
Maybe not, but I'm just saying. And in that Sevilla game, Roma should have walked away with that win if it wasn't for Anthony Taylor.
No.
Listen, and they went to a shootout.
That was a penalty. Chris, come on, man.
Yeah, it was a penalty. It's clear as day.
No, but the problem for me, I think for me, and I'll say this again, the thing with Mourinho that we need to realize, guys, Mourinho is not winning us titles. His style of play does not help you win titles anymore. It is not, and I also think the other issue that we have now, his style of play is also being found out in the Europa League, because Europa League teams now, they may be more unknown. There are more names now with higher quality. You get a lot of them now, these upper mid-table clubs, not just from La Liga. You get them now from the Premier League. Yeah, whether it be West Ham, you got Liverpool now in there as well. Mourinho is not beating these guys in two-legged games. Why are we kidding ourselves? Mourinho, even when he was in his prime with us at Chelsea, what would he do? He didn't really care about. He would always say, "Go for a draw against these top teams and beat everyone from 4th onwards." That's what we used to do.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, for me, and I will say this again, and I will say it repeatedly: we need to stay clear of Mourinho. Stay clear of him. Stay extremely clear of my guy Mourinho, bro. I'm sorry, he's not it, man.
If we can get someone better, then fair enough. But he's not down my bottom of my barrel.
Chris, I have the solution for you.
Thomas Tuchel, yes, I have him. I have that guy back.
No.
No,
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh yeah, because we didn't have Ahmed on the last stream. Yeah, he didn't get it.
Talk about it. We'll do another one. We'll do another one. Okay. Hey. Okay. Calm on. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to surprise you with that.
I want to hit back at Corey Parr's point, which is that
let me see.
Which is that you said that Ahmed, but he literally reached the final last season and they tapped their group top this season. So you are wrong about him not being good enough for Europa. That's BS. Okay, so let's get this argument. Let's get some argument straight. Yeah, let's look at his run in the Europa League. Because listen, I have been doing a bit of a research, shall we say, on his run.
Oh shit.
They still got to find it. Doesn't matter what the run. Run's normally easy because there's not many big teams in there. But
regardless,
the final day he had a plan, and to me it should have worked. This plan should have worked, but and they lost in penalty shootouts. That's what it is. They just lost on it. He could have won in the Europa League. That would have been huge for Roma. That would have been massive for them.
No, but this is the problem though. If he was more daring in that game, he could have won it in normal time.
I don't know, but it's okay, I think his strategy worked fine as it is.
So the only tough team that I would say that he faced in his run in the Europa League was, if I'm not mistaken, Leverkusen. That was the only one. They're good. Leverkusen and Sociedad. And the thing for me, when you look at those games, so I can't remember them. I remember those games clearly. Mourinho did complete part of the bus, by the way. Complete part of the bus, one long ball over. That's what he was doing. Now that can win you a Europa League. I'll be honest about that. That will win you a Europa League, by the way. what's it called? Yeah, that will win you a Europa League. However, big however, that's not gonna win you. That's not gonna win you
Not
a
win Premier
league.
Leagues.
That's not gonna win you. That's not gonna happen consistently in Europa League. That's gonna work. It may win you 1 title, but it's not gonna win you 2. It's not gonna make you win 3, and it will not win you titles either. Now, at this stage in our career at Chelsea Football Club, we should be looking to be winning titles, boys. You know what I mean? That's what we're looking to
Even
build.
next
A team
season?
we're looking to building a team when the next 2 to 3 years is going to be competing or basically winning the title. Are we not kidding ourselves?
No, I get what you're saying, but I feel like.
And then the other issue for me is that if you're being honest about Roma wanted to be in a win now situation, if that makes sense, in the sense of they needed that win. Does that make sense? Like
I get you.
Whereas Chelsea, I don't think we're in a win now situation, boys. We don't need to win now.
I understand. That's why I posed the question: if Poch were to get us into Europe and sacked.
Because for me, Chelsea do not need to. We don't need to win. We don't need to win now at Chelsea. Like, we should not be hyping Conference League wins, boys. Like, Curry Pirate, bro. We should not be hyping up Conference League wins, boys.
Here's the thing. I understand your argument and what you're saying with, him having the easy run. However, I feel like that if you're going to have that argument for Jose, then...
I'll have that for two. I'll have that for two.
Okay, that's what I mean. Like, you just got to keep it consistent then. In that
case, you know me. I'll always keep it consistent when it comes to it. When it comes to that, I'll keep it consistent of those ones. Yeah, you have to.
I'm just busting your balls, but I'm just saying, I feel like I disagree with you on that notion. I think regardless of the fact if it was an easy run or not, you still got to win the games ahead of you, and you still got to tactically set yourself up. You still got to have the players play and score the goals. You still got to do the work. So
Roma had to win the Conference League, by the way. With the team that and the quality they had, there was no other team that was better than them.
Again, you have to get it done, because if you don't, then it looks really bad, right? So regardless, it's still, I'm not discrediting them because they had an easier run. That if I had to discredit them because they had an easier run, I had to discredit Jose's work, then I'm gonna have to do the same thing for Tuchel. And now I'm looking back in hindsight, damn, Tuchel worked miracles with this team to win that championship.
I think for me the question becomes, and this is the question that I think we need to ask as Chelsea fans: Are we here? Are we as Chelsea? And this is the question I will ask: Are we as Chelsea looking just to win Europa Leagues and Conference Leagues and FA Cups and Carabao Cups, or are we trying to build a team that's gonna hopefully let us win FA Cups, or looking to win Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues? Because from when you read the chat, when you read some of the stuff reading from the chat and from stuff that people are asking, it seems to me they want to win Europa Leagues and Conference League. That's what it's looking like to me, boys. I don't know about you, but this, from the way it's looking like to me, that's the level that Mourinho is gonna bring to you.
Bro, I feel like, okay, I get the Jose sentiment, but I feel like some of you guys overglazed Jose. Jose made Roma relevant? Are you serious? Bro, you need to watch more football outside of the Premier League. Roma's always been relevant. Come on now. That's just being disrespectful to Roma. Roma has always been a relevant
but
team.
This is the question for me.
I will say yes,
Totti, Spinazzola came from there too. Come on, man.
But
that's the people.
No, we don't need to start somewhere, Vic. No, but that's the issue, bro. We don't need to start somewhere. Guys, right now we could be one step away from winning the Carabao Cup. Literally, with Pochettino, ironically, if the result of Middlesbrough, touch goes our way, literally, right? In the final already. So, why do we need Mourinho then to go and win us the Europa League then after that? Do we need the Europa League? Let's be honest, guys. We just need Europa League just to give our guys European experience. We can then say we have to win it afterwards, right? Which is fair. But I don't. But this, hyping up the fact that we need to win stuff now, and we need to start from somewhere is nonsense, because we've already done it previously. Do we need another Europa League in our cabinet? No, we need a team.
This is Captain Hindsight.
That needs to improve.
Yeah, this is all Captain Hindsight maneuvering. You don't know what could have happened.
What we need to be doing, guys, what we need to be doing as Chelsea is winning league games, having a style of play, and making sure we are improving these players. That's what we need to be doing, guys. We don't need to be winning European leagues, and making it look like we need to just win these trophies. Bro, I'm sorry to you guys, an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup, even though, yes, it's good for us, for the young players to start winning stuff, it's not something to write home about.
I get it, and I've always known, Ahmed, you've always been of the very high standards. You'd rather be winning the Champions League and all that and competing in that, but I think...
listen, a trophy is a trophy at the end of the day. Listen, if I win a Carabao Cup, I'm happy. If I win an FA Cup, I'm happy. That's why I said to you guys, winning an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup is good for the guys because it will build up that winning mentality in the team, right? But the issue, again, I always ask is that it seems for everyone that we need to win that something like that. People just want to win something now because, they're seeing other teams win stuff. That's not what we need to be doing. Chelsea right now have a bunch of young players that need to be leveled up to the next level with a style of play and actual tactics that are being taught to these guys and improving themselves as players. And that is where the issue lies with us right now. This is Jose Mourinho, is all about, Jose Mourinho, at the end of the day, with whatever you want to call him, you can say I'm disrespecting him or not. If you're happy with Jose Mourinho giving you a European Conference League and just for the all-round vibes, then for me, that's not for me, Chelsea. That's not the Chelsea that I know. Or currently. That's what it is.
And just to ramp off of the topic now so we can move on to the other things we have to discuss. Listen, with Jose, I don't think he's the right manager for the job, but I just don't think anything that we said here, I don't think it's disrespecting Jose so much. Like, I think there are valid criticisms to be had about Jose. And that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a valid criticism. I'm not sitting here and saying, Jose is washed. I'm not sitting here and saying that Jose didn't do jack shit for Chelsea. Oh, he didn't never won a Champions League, so he's a shit manager. Like, no, that would be disrespecting Jose. No, I started off this conversation saying I respect Jose as one of the greatest managers of all time. Easy makes my top 5. That's not being disrespectful to Jose. So I just think it's just being critical of the reality of what Jose has done and is currently doing to the relevancy of where football is right now. And I think there's a valid argument and a valid discussion to be having there, and it doesn't have to be a disrespectful one. You don't have to see it as disrespectful. You can have a difference of opinion. Obviously, we understand that. We all have difference of opinion. I know some of you guys love Jose, and I know some of you guys think Jose's washed. But at the end of the day, we're just having a discussion here. And
talking about,
in a sense, it's realistic.
I just want to say something, Mourinho is better than Pochettino. I don't think anyone on this panel would disagree with you if you compare managerial careers and everything like that. Mourinho is better than Pochettino. But in their current state, there's no doubt about that. But in their current states and what you need them to do, though, however, the difference is clear. One day brought in Pochettino in the summer, and one of the reasons why I didn't really necessarily mind Pochettino was because I've always had him as the middle manager who could at least, train these guys up, give them a style of playing a tactic, and then you could have brought in a guy that would help you then to get over the final hurdle. That was always the plan for me. But let's not act, guys, like if we brought in Mourinho now with this team, that he would be cooking. He wouldn't be cooking. Just, let's stop it, man. Because this is where, the nonsense begins to kick in. It's not going to work.
All right.
And I want to add also this. Serie A, listen, big up Serie A. I watch Serie A regularly.
Vic, I literally just said no one said Mourinho's washed. I feel like you're very selective with your hearing right now because you're just so defensive of Jose because you respect him too much. You have to take him off the pedestal. He's not the Jose you once knew. He's a very different Jose.
At the very least, he's past his prime.
Yeah, he's definitely past his prime. I don't think he's washed, and I don't think he's relevant to the game.
No one is saying this here. Listen, a manager can be washed. What I mean by that is that they can have a decline. It's a natural progression of any player. It happens in players. It happens in managers too. That's I think that's a fair thing to say. But I don't know why people are acting like it's wrong to say that what was it called? It's washed. I think currently in club football, Mourinho has declined. Simple as that. He's not going to be able to match to his superiors. His peers, I should say, not superiors. His peers, whether that be Pep, whether it be peers, such as Pep and Klopp. Let's be honest, guys, man. Let us be honest.
No. He was here. He had an opportunity to do it, and he didn't either. So I mean, that's just being real.
I would argue, Sarri is doing a much better job with him with less money spent. By the way, he's spending even less money than what Mourinho is spending, and he's doing a better job than him. So what are we saying that Sarri then is Sarri the guy that we had previously wasn't good enough for us? Remember,
No,
he
I'd have Sarri back.
uncomfortable conversations, isn't it? You know, my guy Sarri is
He's a good manager.
spending way less money than him. Way less money than him.
Well, Ahmed, it's what you say. Sorry, doesn't have any aura.
That's what I mean. Like, and this is, and like, listen,
He's
yeah,
just smoke and
reason,
mirrors.
I think honestly though, I would say Sarri's.
Literal smoke. Literal smoke.
yes.
That's if we can get Sarri though. That's if we can get
And that's
Sarri.
the thing for me. And like, listen, I want to add one more thing before we finish this conversation off here, right? Lazio were in a decline, right? But he's turned the results around currently, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, and he's literally managed to get them out of the group stage. Lazio's out of the group stages, guys. That's not a team that should be out of the group stages, by the way, too. And this is like, you know.
So
for me,
real quick, Ahmed, before you continue on, Lazio in the last 5 games have only lost 1 and only lost 1 and won 4. So they've
that's
won
what I'm
4 of
saying.
their last 5
He's turned his
games.
results out because initially he was not doing so great. I know,
Yeah.
but he turned us around.
And they're currently ahead of Roma. Lazio's in 6th. Roma is currently in 8th place.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he will get them top 4 football. The way that team are messing around, he will get top 4 football for them. And this is the problem, you know what I mean? Big up, sorry, you know what I mean? He's not Chelsea though. He's not Chelsea, not with the aura. He's not connected to the fans. You know what I mean? Yeah, sadly, if I'm telling you, if Sarri did not lose here the 10-0 week, that he would be at this football club, boys. He would be at this football club. That's what I'm gonna say, man. So let's not do that, man. Let's not do that, man. All I'm gonna add here.
I would say look at last
Jesus
year,
Christ,
last
guys,
season.
ramp off. Let's
Sorry,
come on.
sorry,
Let's
bro.
move on to
I
the rest of the
apologize,
show.
my apologies,
It's fine.
yeah.
It's fine. Go ahead,
To
Chris.
really-
Finish it off.
No, I was just
Final
saying,
point.
look at Sarri under
Chris and
last
Ahmed,
year,
final
last-
point.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, look at Sarri under last season. Like he got him competing with Napoli last season. That's quite impressive. That is still, and under Chelsea, he did really good. Like he won us Europa League, and he almost won us the Carabao Cup. But that was just a bit of a mess of like, you know, that day. If you know, and we only lost in the penalty shootout against Man City. But like, I think Sarri actually does suit this team over Jose, and I actually would want Jose back still. But if we can get Sarri over him, I would choose Sarri. So yeah, that's my quick point to it. You know, we're rambling on.
Or are you gonna finish off on Chris, Ahmed?
I just want to say, bro, big up to my guy Mourinho. Again, I just think, bro, Mourinho should just take it easy, bro. Stop being a manager. Enjoy your life, bro. He would be a great pundit for me personally.
Go get the bag in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, man. But like for me personally, just like sometimes, bro, just relax. Like I don't really feel like he has nothing else to prove at this point. There's nothing else for you to prove, broski. Like, let's move. And like, it's not even me being disrespectful, by the way. This is me being like, you know, big up to him. You know what I mean? He's a nice, big up to Mourinho. Like, I respect Mourinho more than a lot, just as much as everyone here. Let's relax, bro. Do what you need to do. But I just think for me, Mourinho, thank you for the memories. You know, we don't need aura at Chelsea right now. Chelsea's issue is not aura. It's not a mentality issue. You know, because I feel like that's another thing, by the way, we haven't spoken about. Your question, Marshall, is I feel like a lot of people think it's a mentality issue right now. It's not a mentality issue either. It's Chelsea issue right now, a mentality issue. It's not a mentality issue, bro. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel Chelsea's problem right now is mentality. The issue right now of Chelsea, again, is the way we are playing. That's what the issue is right now for us.
I agree. To a certain extent, I think mentality is part of it, though. But I think overall, it's what you're saying. But let's go on to the next, because we could have a whole show on just Jose Mourinho and our manager picks, and we probably will have a show just on that. But let's go on to the next topic. And guys, that was a great segment, just talking on Jose and potentially what might happen. But before we continue, if you made it this far into the stream, give me some. If you're a member, I think there's a Jose emoji. So go ahead and use that Jose emoji in the comments or in the chat. And if you're watching this in the future, give me a fire emoji or, you know, a blue Chelsea emoji, whatever, down in the comments below to let me know that you've gotten this far into the show. So big up to you guys. You guys are the troopers. Be sure to also like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, guys. Let's go on to the next topic that I wanted to bring up. And this is going to be another one that we're going to be talking about a lot because I'm going to talk about it a lot, at least. And so that's why I wanted to keep going. But let's discuss the return and the very early return of Cesare Casadei. Okay, so we have a bit to talk about on this guy. So let's go ahead and start off with this first tweet from Matt Law. Breaking news. Chelsea are recalling Cesare Casadei, and he will join the first team squad under Mauricio Pochettino. Next tweet I have here is Chelsea are set to recall Cesare Casadei from his loan at Leicester City to take up a place in Mauricio Pochettino's first team squad. Then Nazar Cancel reporting here on Cesare Casadei coming back. Leslie Ugochukwu's injury is pretty bad, and it no doubt contributed to Cesare Casadei's loan recall. Romeo Lavia is also out. And then the last tweet I have here, Cesare Casadei will start training under Mauricio Pochettino already today as Chelsea decided to recall him. Understand club believes he has huge potential and can help the squad with immediate effect. Now, there was some ideas out there as to the reasoning for bringing back Casadei, and I really, really hope they're not true. Let me see if I can just find it.
So
I don't want him back.
Put out a theory, by the way, yeah. So this is a couple of theories that I've had. Obviously, we know that Ugochukwu is not going to be back until mid-February because remember his injury is 6 weeks, and that shit started in January. So he's not going to be back until mid-February at the very least. We know. So that's one of them. The other thing is then also that means he doesn't rate Santos, by the way.
What do you guys think?
But we knew that though.
Yeah, we know he doesn't rate Santos. I know obviously Matisse is actually trolling, by the way. So this is a troll tweet.
No. Are you okay? Hold on. Let me just read it for those of you just listening.
It's a strike option.
I have a feeling Casadei is being recalled as a striker option. Good in the air, has shown he can score a few goals. Midfield skill set will look more rounded up front. Allows Broja to exit potentially. Would you guys actually be surprised if Pochettino did this though?
No.
I think he says striker.
No, but I feel like this would be the step where it would be a step too far. It would not happen. This is even for Pochettino. This is actually like a.
But Ahmed, I cannot understand the whole. We're bringing him back because of Ugochukwu because they don't even play. They do not even play the same role. It's literally just we have one tall player who went out. Let's bring in another tall player.
Do you know what it is, bro? This is my theory, Ahmed Abdi theory here. I believe that the Lavia injury is worse than expected. Because remember, Lavia was actually meant to be back this Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah, that sucks. I don't know.
But again, Casadei's not a DM.
No.
I'd rather just keep Gallagher back up and be a six.
For me, I think what's happening is this. I think he probably is expecting to probably play Caicedo and Gallagher in the pivot. He probably is going to start playing Casadei in the 10 role. That's what's going to happen.
Wait. You think Pochettino's going to leave out Enzo?
I think remember there's been some reports.
I want that terrorist out if he does that, Ahmed. I want that terrorist out if he starts Casadei over Enzo.
So there's been a rumor that's been coming out about
that. So shit for Everton
that
as well.
Enzo's still got a hernia apparently. So
did you say Everton, Chris?
No, I meant I literally changed it to Leicester. I didn't mean to say.
No, apparently Enzo,
same kid.
Enzo still has a hernia apparently.
Really?
No, he's gonna have that for a while. The Probaglia thing that he has, that sports hernia, that's something that Vlahovic is going through, and it's a reoccurring injury.
If that is the case, then that probably more than likely means that he's cooked. He may also be becoming cover for Casadei. Casadei may even become cover for him as well. So there's that to also consider. Now, obviously you've spoken about the Lavia stuff, the Ugochukwu stuff. Santos for me again. I've said this to you before. He's going out on loan again. I don't think Poch rates him, sadly. Even though I do think he's a very talented top tier player. Just that he's a short king. You know what I mean? We were like tall gentlemen at Chelsea Football Club. You know what I mean? You got to be 6 foot or taller at Chelsea. You know what I'm saying?
It's a weird thing. It is very weird thing.
But someone's injured bad at the end of the day. Someone is injured very bad right now. So,
I mean,
can you play right back? Because there's been rumors that Houston now is also not available, boys. And Nkuku's not available either. So maybe he can literally play that 10 spot better than anyone else.
I just want to use Pochettino's own logic against him for a second here. I've got a quote from him about Ian Maddison, and I quote, He came from Burnley to play. To perform at Chelsea, with all due respect, is not the same, and the competition is different. That's a Burnley team that broke records winning the championship.
Yeah.
But Casadei in a championship leading currently, they're in the top right now. A championship leading Leicester team. He's apparently good enough, but Matson isn't. What is the difference? It is height. This guy is a height merchant. He is a horrible
He's
manager.
actually not that good for Leicester. Like, if you hear a lot of Leicester fans, they don't even like him. They don't even rate him.
But, like,
he doesn't even start every game.
That's fair enough. But the thing is, like, no. He actually has been.
I don't know if Poch will start him though.
No, he actually has been getting quite good minutes at Leicester, and people can say what they want about. Maybe yes, the Leicester fans don't think he's been that good, and fair enough. He's getting minutes though.
He's not starting like every game, Oliver. Like he's got.
He's getting decent.
He's got less than 1,000 minutes this season.
Hang on, Chris. For a guy that's currently in his second ever. This is his first ever full season of senior football. Because remember,
that's not my point. How many seasons he's played?
Right,
it's relevant though. It's relevant because we bought him in January a year ago. We bought him in January from Inter Milan. He was in their youth team. We sent him to Reading on loan. That was his first ever senior experience. Mm-hmm. He only has basically now a full season's worth, like in terms of time. He has a full season's worth of senior experience, and he's already playing at a top level championship club and getting decent minutes.
He's played somewhat of a minute, but like he's only played like 900 minutes in the championship. He's just nowhere near ready to play for Chelsea. Nowhere near it. If he's not ready, start every game for like.
I don't know about nowhere near. But
he's nowhere near ready right now.
Let's use Chris's logic against him too. Let's use Chris's logic against him. Well, so is Ugo Chukwu ready to play for Chelsea then?
Not really. He's just as a backup, yeah.
What about Lavia then? Lavia hasn't played that many minutes. Is Lavia ready to start for Chelsea?
Yes, last season he played a lot for Southampton. He's a Premier League player, yeah. Like it's not the same.
So, but Casadei is literally been playing a lot of minutes for these guys off the bench. Can you not do the same for Chelsea? Does he need to start for Chelsea? He can come off at the bench.
I don't know. It's not like I'm gonna pretend I'm watching, but I'm hearing the Leicester fans and I'm just not happy with him.
But the problem with the Leicester fans was the way they were playing and how he was being brought into play. I don't think was working. Like the way the manager was using him wasn't correct from what I'm hearing.
I don't know about that. I go off like the fans and what they see.
No. Like from what I'm hearing from Leicester, that's what I heard from Leicester fans. Like from what I've read and heard from Leicester fans.
Yeah, I gather you don't watch him either.
Yeah. So,
but like I said though, this is his first ever full season as a senior professional.
Yeah.
There's going to be highs and lows.
Exactly.
I'll say this. I mean, I have a few thoughts on this. And I don't know if I've made this clear or if you guys are aware of this. I like Casadei. He's actually one of the youths that I'm like, okay, I hope this guy cooks at Chelsea. Like I do like something about his style of play that just, I don't know, it catches my attention. I don't with Poch, I could actually see him being played as a striker. Like a backup striker, especially if the rumors are true that Broja is likely to leave this window. And there are very heavy links that Broja might be leaving this window. We'll discuss it, but we're going to need a backup striker. And I don't think David Washington is going to be the guy. I think it actually might be Casadei. And I hate it because I don't think that's his best position. We're going to have a whole Kai Havertz fucking dilemma again. But if the case is that we're actually going to use him in the midfield, I do agree with Chris that I do believe he's still raw. I think he should have had the season to finish at Leicester, and should have been given that time to develop and really refine his game. But I mean, we will see if the reason for bringing him back is actually because they believe in his talent and ability. I do think the kid is talented. I do think the kid can provide you more in that number 10 position than Conor Gallagher can. In his current form, like he does run like Gallagher. He does put in the tackles like Gallagher. He has more creativity than Gallagher and more scoring ability than Gallagher in his current form. It's raw. It's not, the consistency isn't there yet, but that's going to come with time. That's going to come with play time. Is he going to play over Gallagher? I have my doubts, but I do see Casadei.
Is he going to play over Gallagher?
Yeah, I know.
You didn't even
Oh, they're going to play together, man. Gallagher's in that pivot, bro.
Oh my god, no.
Gallagher in that pivot, Casadei in the 10.
I would hate to see Enzo and Caicedo drop for Casadei. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I like Casadei.
They played together, by the way, in preseason. So
yeah.
Hey.
I mean, I could definitely see there being a rotation between Caicedo and Enzo for Casadei from game to game, especially with the FA Cup coming up. Like, I mean, Aston Villa is a big game, so I don't think there'll be much rotation there. But in the games afterwards, depending on the draws, I think I can see some rotation in there because there's, FA Cup is a long competition.
It's amazing, isn't it? This all could have been avoided if on Christmas Eve, Pochettino had a pair of balls and decided to start Alex Matos in the Wolves game instead of rush Ugochukwu back in and play him 60 minutes on a first game when he's not even fully fit.
Uncomfortable.
This all could have been avoided. The Lavia thing's a given, whatever, man. Like that is what it is. But the way he managed Ugochukwu in that situation is nothing short of a disgrace.
Yeah, and Nayak, it's like I get it. He's not a CDM though. He's more of an attacking 8, Casadei. So it's I could see him playing as a 10. Maybe he'll do a good job. I don't know, but no, I agree. I agree with the sentiment though. He's definitely not as fast. I don't want to see him in the pivot.
He's playing 10. He's playing 10. I can see it already happening, man.
I can see him playing striker though. That'd be insane to me. But
like whether he plays striker or 10, I think the point Matisse made about height that is definitely what this is. We've been seeing the reports for at least 2 months now that Pochettino doesn't think the team is tall enough. Yeah, bring this guy in and have him playing it.
It's such Neanderthal tactics.
Man? How tall is Pochettino, by the way, man? How tall is he? He's probably 5 foot something, if I'm not mistaken. No? Look at this little.
I mean, he was a centre back in his career, so
man, this little rat, fam. This little rat, fam. He's also 5 foot, and you know what I mean. Hey, you have to speak with each other, man.
I don't know, but I mean, I am excited for Cassidy to come back. Did I expect him to come back midway through the season? No. Do I expect him to solve our problems? No. But I expect him to have some good games at Chelsea at least. I think he will have some good games.
The only other thing I really want to add is whoever the hell is managing our loans, they need to be sacked. Yeah. They need to be sacked immediately.
I'm assuming it's Lawrence Stewart.
Well, the thing is, I'd say it's Lawrence Stewart in terms of he may have organised the loan happening, but
Jesus Christ, Pochettino's 6 foot tall. Sorry, continue.
But like,
that's what Wiki says.
But like, my point on the loans is like, you know, whoever the hell is like getting all these players to be recalled, and like we're interrupting progress here with Casadei when there was nothing wrong with him at Leicester. Like he certainly wasn't just rotting on the bench. Why are we calling him? Like, and like I said, to use Pochettino's own logic against him, if Ian Maatsen in a record-breaking championship-winning Burnley team isn't ready to take the step up to Chelsea, then why is Casadei ready?
Yeah, and I agree with what you had said before, or was it Ahmed? I don't remember, but someone said before about he just doesn't rate Santos at this point. Like,
that's clear, man. Ugochukwu literally had one training session. He's like, bro, give me him. You know.
Yeah.
The plan was to have Andre Santos as the backup. That was the plan before we randomly bought Ugochukwu.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of questions to be had about this board. With the loans the only loan that seems to have worked out is the Hutchinson one and the Angela one, but you had 7 more loans on top of that. This is embarrassing. We need to do better on the loans, and I'm hoping that we do better on the loans. We'll see what happens with Santos and what loan he gets, but I mean, now we're sending off Maatsen, for example. Like, I think Maatsen's going to do well at Dortmund, but we know that now Maatsen's going to be a future sell. He's not going to come back. It's not a loan to development. You know, it's a loan to sell.
Bro, Dortmund are triggering that clause, man. He got an assist today. He was really good.
My brothers, we lost the real one, man. We lost the real one, man. Crazy.
I mean,
because this terrorist wants to play Levi Colwell. Oh, God.
No, I get it. Bear in mind it is Bundesliga, but at the same time, like, regardless, like, there was no reason to send him off on the
loan. Another crook, man.
No, listen, man. The Bundesliga defense is on crime watch, man. You know,
funnily enough,
a line of cocaine, man. That's what I'm saying.
Funnily enough, his assist actually came today from his defending. he won the ball back and passed it. The first part of that was winning the ball back, so he must be decent enough defensively based on that one little sample. But no, let's play Levi Colwell, who looks out of sorts.
Yeah, I don't like the way our loans has gone, and we've discussed this too with the whole Madueke situation last month, and so on and so forth with the other loans and Santos especially. I'm not liking how our loans are going.
Just doesn't seem like there's no plan anyway. You've got Poch that's playing for. He's now.
We've already.
You've got Poch now, who's in the phase of playing for his job now, because that's the kind of. I saw my man go to a back five against Fulham. He's playing for his job. You've got these directors or whoever's in charge of the loans that can't seem to get a good one outside of A, to Strasbourg, or B, within the English pyramid. Every other loan's been a disgrace.
I want you to deep this. The loans we've done have been so bad that we have now recalled 3 of our loans. Davison Dacha Fofana, Casadei, and Santos. That's how bad these loans have been for our players. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of Chelsea. So whoever is choosing where these players develop and where they get loaned out to, I think needs to be sacked. And there needs to be another person, whether it's Lawrence Stewart or not. It's just, this is bad.
And listen, people can say it's only been one season. There's enough evidence. There's enough loans that have gone wrong.
Even if it is one season, there's no reason there should be 3 recalls. 1, maybe. 3? That's fucking insane. That's never happened at Chelsea. So it just speaks loudly how bad these loans have been.
What's it called here? I wanted to add something quickly here, which is that United obviously have now got this new guy, chief. They got the new CEO called Omar Barada, who's the Man City guy that's apparently going to be replacing Tixi apparently, and there are guys that are now getting serious around us. So we need to be, making sure that our directors are smartening up, because listen, the what's it called? The competition is only going to get fiercer, only going to get more problematic. We need to be, making sure we're keeping ahead of that.
I know what you're saying, Vic. I understand. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, Vic. I'm not saying that the recall for Cassidy is necessarily bad, but why are we recalling him when he could be developing more at Leicester? Not that I'm opposed to it. I mean, I kind of do like the recall. I never really wanted Cassidy to go to begin with. I kind of wanted him to stay to the team because I want to see him play, but that's just me being selfish. That's not me having Chelsea's best interests.
That's the other thing I'm scratching my head about. If he's so ready to contribute to the first team, then why did he go out on loan in the first place?
Exactly.
My days.
A lot of this is really confusing.
Nothing makes sense.
It brings in more and more, problems, bro. At the end of the day, man. It just, listen. At the end of the day, man, it just seems that the situation is what's it called? Too hot.
No, but for example, CNF, why the fuck would you loan Santos to a Nottingham Forest, for example, who are stacked with midfielders? And before Dacha Fofana went to Burnley, there was links that he was going to go to Sevilla, another team that has a lot of strikers and a lot of competition. You want to put your investments into a loan that suits them and that would favor them to get game time. That's my point. And Santos one was a horrible one. We're seeing what's happening with Moreira. I don't think Moreira's loan has been working out that well, and I
forgot about Moreira. Oh my, that's another
one. The situation's been shit. And then Fofana, the Fofana one, I can't blame them too much. They did just sack their manager. Fofana had a bit of a falling out with the manager. He was playing at first, went into bad form. So maybe that's more on the player than it is the board. But now we have Casadei, who we apparently think is ready, and we could have just left him on loan. We're recalling him now. So who knows? Maybe there is a long-term plan on this that I'm being too harsh on. But at the same time, I'm not happy with how these loans are going. These loans have not been going very well when you look at the majority of them. So That some of you guys want me to be more critical of the board and the ownership. This is where I'm being critical about it. Like it's just not good. And for that reason, like when the majority of these are not going well and you have to recall 3 players, mix them and match them, move them around, not giving them time to settle and develop as players, I think that's ridiculous.
It's pathetic.
So,
You're literally asking young men to pack their bags every 6 months and move to different towns, different cities, different countries. What are we doing here?
I mean, yeah, technically the Lewis Hall.
How are you supposed to settle? How are you supposed to settle at all?
Yeah, that's why I've always maintained the biggest problem at Chelsea is structural operational. They don't know what they're doing. I don't trust them to find a better replacement. I mean, I see where you're coming from. I feel that sentiment. So it's just dumb, and I'm getting so frustrated with seeing these things happen. But all right, let's continue on. Let's see what Casadei has to bring to the table. Hopefully, he brings a lot to the table because I do like him a lot, and I want to see him develop into the player I think he's going to be. Okay, Ahmed signed out, I guess. But all right, let's go on to the next topic, which is Chelsea are targeting some center backs. Apparently, this is what we're having planned for the transfer window. We'll see, because the transfer window is getting pretty close to closing. It's only 2 weeks away, pretty much. So Chelsea are targeting center back with good personality, but it's not guaranteed to be during January because many players are unavailable, according to Fabrizio Romano. What do you mean by good personality? What does that mean? Yeah, I don't know what that means.
You tell me, bro.
Work ethic or some shit? Like, what do you mean by that? Actually, I have a soundboard for that.
I don't know.
What do you mean by that?
Exactly. I don't understand. What is... Can someone tell me what's wrong with the personality of our current centre backs?
Yeah. I mean, if they're referring to like personality in the sense of like more leadership in that back line, then I guess I can see that. But even so, again, I understand. This is where I kind of disagree with Ahmed on a few points. I understand that experience, at least I believe that experience and leadership are lacking in this team and could be helpful. But that's more so as a result of Poch's tactics. Without Poch having clear tactics on how to play and not just depending on individual brilliance, if there's a style of play and a system in place, a lot of these players would benefit from that. But because there isn't a system in place, because there is no style of play, you're expecting these inexperienced young players to do something when they've never been in a lot of these positions before. Some of these guys is the first time playing against these other teams. Some of these guys is their first time ever playing in the Premier League. So how can you expect them to rely on, when they're that inexperienced, when they don't have that much to fall back on? They need a system to fall back on.
I can't hear that for the defence, though, because our most common centre-back pairing this season has been 40-year-old Thiago Silva and 25, 26-year-old Axel Disasi.
What can't you hear exactly for the lack of
Like
experience?
the whole the experience thing. There's like our back line has the experience. I don't. Mm-hmm. It's got a fine balance. You have two centre backs playing the majority of the games that are a good enough level of experience. You have experience at left back. Cucurella. When you were playing left backs, Cucurella, he's like 26, so he's got a decent experience. You're choosing to play Colwell there. That's your own problem because he's not even experienced in the position, let alone as a player.
The defense isn't so much on just the defense, though. I feel like a lot of that has in part to do with the midfield, and our midfield being set up in a way which exposes our back line more than it should.
Yeah, that is a setup. Yeah.
So that's what I mean with a system of play. And then we have Levi Kobel, of course, playing left back all season. That's like a detriment in itself. I feel like Disasi being rotated often with Badiashile, I feel like doesn't help. I feel like Thiago Silva's age is catching up with him. When these center backs don't have anyone to pass to, that affects them as well. I feel like a lot of this comes down to the manager. I feel like a lot of this comes down to these players, because they don't have a system, they have to rely on experience and where they should know where to go and all this and that. When there's no experience to really lean back on from these players. So
literally,
you need a system. You need something. Yeah.
To get valuable experience, you need stability. This is what I was talking about in the last segment with the loans. These players have no stability. They're packing their bags every 6 months, and they're buying houses in new countries every 6 months, new cities, new towns. They're not going to get any experience from that, or not any valuable experience. And it's the same thing with the current players at Chelsea. You know, if we can't stick with a 2 that play 70% of the games, that like, what are we actually doing? You can't just randomly bring in a guy like Badiashile. We're bringing him randomly. Like, what are we doing there? We bring in Ugo Chukwu randomly, you know, and he looks out. They both look out of sorts because it's just random.
Yeah. So I don't know what they mean by this personality and all that stuff, but I hope they do. If they do bring in a center back, it's a good one. We'll see. We've had the links to Debo, Diomande. There's a third one in there too. Gay. We all agreed that Todibo and Diomande look promising, but I don't know about Gay when you have Chalaba already. So we'll see what happens with this. But yeah, in the end of the day, whatever they mean by personality, it is what it is. And now it's looking likely that's not going to happen in January. January is going to be focused more on the outgoings, and we're going to literally have a quiet January, like I think Nazar Kinsella had mentioned earlier in the window.
You know what I think is this whole personality thing or whatever, or this character thing. It's just another one of these passion and desire buzzwords. That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Just go and get me someone competent, man. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Oliver. But all right, let's go ahead and move on to next topic I have for you guys, and that's going to be update on the Benzema saga. So last time we were on Casually Chelsea, we spoke about the potential of Benzema coming to Chelsea, which, you know, it was kind of a pipe dream, but it could have been a possibility. Who knows? Especially if it was a temporary thing, especially if that, you know, transfer and the wages gets covered. So we've had a little bit of an update. So let's read up on this. Exclusive: Arsenal have discussed a loan move for Karim Benzema and are considering a move for the French striker. Chelsea have discussed internally and are very keen, according to Fraser Fletcher. And then the other tweet I have here is that Karim Benzema has put Premier League clubs on alert by indicating that he is open to leaving Al Ittihad. The 36-year-old former Real Madrid striker is exploring his options and believes a move to England is a possibility. So I feel like it could be. Look, the only way this happens, and I'm sure Karim knows this. Look at me talking to him on a first name basis like he's my buddy. Anyways, I'm sure Benzema knows this. He's going to have to cut his wages. He's going to have to take a wage cut because there's no way he's going to be making the money he's making at Saudi at one of these Premier League clubs. And I'm sure he knows that. I'm sure he knows he's going to cut his wages. So knowing he's going to cut his wages, maybe perhaps that gives us an opportunity to swoop in and have him on loan, which I wouldn't be opposed to. But I mean, Oliver, what are your thoughts on this situation? You think it actually could happen?
It definitely gives us a better chance. I mean, you're literally removing a variable, that being his current club right now, and you're eliminating the negotiation of you cover X percent of the salary. So that's all well and good, but we're still talking about Karim Benzema. We are not doing this 150k per week cap on Karim Benzema. So if that idea is true within the club, they need to get rid of it. Top players need to be paid a premium, and we just need to do what we can here.
How much do you think that premium is?
You know, the other option. How much do I think? Over 250k for specifically for Karim Benzema. Over 250k.
There's a K a week, bro.
I'd be fine with that, but we mentioned in the last show the other alternative was Roberto Firmino, and he does not solve anything in this team. Yeah. We've gone over this, I've mentioned before that Alexis calls him, he calls Nicholas Jackson baby Firmino because he's good at the link up, but not not the goal scorer that you may think that we need. And Firmino doesn't solve it. Like he's not even a natural striker, albeit he played well there for Liverpool. You know, as a false nine, which we don't play with, by the way. He was originally a number 10. He's not a goal scorer. Benzema solves all that, and we've mentioned as well, he was good for Real Madrid in his final season, playing in Europe, in the Champions League, playing in La Liga. So it's a no-brainer if we can get it done. Although, you know, I did catch Ivan Toney today. You know, my interest in him is starting to peak again because, you know, what a goal he scored.
Oh, he scored in his debut. Holy shit. Good for him.
Well, his return, but he scored a free kick.
Yeah, his return debut. That's what I meant.
Yeah, you know,
debut for the season. How about that?
He is him, but everyone said, "Oh, you know, he won't be the same player when he comes back." Yeah.
I mean, I can make the same argument for Benzema. I mean,
like,
is Benzema going to return to Real Madrid Benzema levels?
Yeah, but if we even get 70% of that, we're fine.
Yeah.
Like Real Madrid
I'm just kind of
Benzema,
worried it'll become. Yeah. I'm worried it'll become our Ronaldo situation, where Ronaldo kind of at Man United just became a target man. But you know what?
Benzema plays more like a modern forward though. Well, that's his style of play. Like he drops deep, he can link it, he can get in the box. Mm-hmm. He's an all-rounder as a striker.
At the end of the day, I would take Benzema on a loan. I would bite the bullet and give him $350K a week if that's what he's willing to do. If we can get it for less, then fine. But if he's willing to do it $350K a week, this is bite the bullet. It's only till the end of the season. You're not breaking your wage structure. This guy, everyone knows in this team. Everyone in this team knows this guy is world class. He's won multiple Champions League. Like this guy is the guy. You know, he is a top tier striker. This is you only get this wage and you only get this level of pedigree with the experience that he's got. So Raheem Sterling, hold it. Like you're not going to be the highest paid player. It's going to be Benzema. You know, like so. Even if it disrupts the locker room in that sense of like wages and all this shit, I don't care. It's Benzema. So you know, suck it up, Buttercup. And
the locker room can only be so disrupted when we're scoring goals and winning matches as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that being said, if Benzema were to come, then then we have the potential departure or more than likely departure of Armando Broja. So right now we have a few links and tweets regarding Armando Broja. And mind you guys, this is a player that I favor a lot, but I understand he's not been up to the level and he's not returned to his best, let's just say. But let's go ahead and read some tweets on the subject matter and then we'll go. So right here, we got the first tweet from Fabrizio Romano. It's a possibility for Armando Broja to leave this January. It depends on the proposals, as Chelsea would only allow that if they receive important money. While I understand that risk of losing fine young talent like Broja, Chelsea already know they want to make a big signing up front in June. So probably it could make sense for all parties to make this sale now, as long as the money is right. Going on. Then Chelsea are now actively encouraging offers for Broja and are now ready to sell. Broja's reported £50 million asking price is considered overinflated by interested clubs who value the Albania international at between 30 to 40 million pounds, according to Nazar Kinsella. Pardon me. West Ham would be interested in a loan deal for Chelsea's Armando Broja. West Ham's funds are limited. There is little chance of them meeting Chelsea's demands of £50 million for Broja, who is also wanted by Fulham and Wolves. Going on, we have here sources have stated that up to 8 Premier League clubs are monitoring the situation for Armando Broja at Chelsea. West Ham, Fulham, Wolves, and Crystal Palace, 4 of the clubs who have looked at Armando Broja. Fulham interest is serious and they could bid in coming week. Wolves prefer loan option. Italian, German, and Spanish clubs are also keen. £35 million and above the price for the striker. And then, pardon me as I overstepped my show there. Right there. So, my opinion on this, especially that second tweet that we read. £50 million. They feel like it's an overinflated price. Suck my dick. I don't care. Look at the market right now for strikers. Tell me what striker out there doesn't have an overinflated price.
I wish there was this much outrage for Evan Ferguson.
Exactly.
Rasmus
Like-
Højlund. No.
Like, who are these clubs? Who are these clubs to really complain about the price for the Broja? Do you understand? Like, the market right now is so overinflated with prices. Like, as much as I like Osimhen as a player, I don't think he's worth 103 million euros or 105 million euros, whatever the price is. I don't think he's worth that much money. That's a lot for one good season so far that we've seen. And I know people are going to say Lyon and all that, but like one really standout season. Let's be realistic here as well. Like, you know, like Evan Ferguson, another prime example. Brighton won 100 million pounds. Fuck off. So if we want to ask for 50 million for Broja, so be it. And you know what? I'd rather them ask for 50 million so they can get something close to it. Just like with Mason Mount, we valued Mason Mount at 80 million, I think, or 70 million when we were selling him to United. What did we end up coming out with? Do you remember, Oliver? I don't remember.
Was it 55 plus 5? I think
something like that. So, like, at the end of the day, we got a great price out of fucking Mason Mount. So why are these clubs out here pretending that, like, oh, 50 million is such an overinflated fucking price, bro? Go do that. Go have that same fucking complaint about every other striker in Europe right now.
I just think,
or in the world.
I can't lie. This could maybe just be like a basic sort of like negotiation strategy in a sense.
Of course,
like, because
it definitely is.
If all we hear is that, oh, you know, everyone thinks 50 million is too much. If Chelsea want to sell him, they have to drop the price, and then it becomes a bit more enticing.
No,
but this is where if Chelsea do what they did to Manchester United and they call everyone's bluff, they'll eventually come in with the money that we want if they're that desperate, and then it's sorted.
For one, I don't think we should be getting Broja. I don't think we should be getting rid of Broja unless we actually have a backup for him ready to go, which I don't think we do. I don't think David Washington's that guy. Second, I don't think Broja's worth 50. I agree with the price of 35, maybe 30, to be honest. That's the price I would value him at. But if I'm in this market right now, looking to make pure profit and seeing how there are multiple clubs that want this player, because at the end of the day, too, like, you gotta also take into consideration that this could be Poch tax, you know, and that could be letting Broja down. But at the end of the day, the market is insane for don't and I know some clubs out there see potential in Broja. Bro, 50 million. I don't care. If you don't think Broja's worth 50 million, then go pay 70 million for so and so. Or if you want Gyökeres, he's going for 100 million euros. Go pay that clause. You think he's more worth it? Be my guest. This market isn't.
Well, that's a good point about Gyökeres, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't a good market for strikers. So at the end of the day, 50 million overinflated. Eat my shorts. Whatever. Everything is overinflated. So why should Chelsea not overinflate their prices too? Why should Chelsea be the only team that get pushed over? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care. 50 million or you know, negotiate a deal. If we get 40 million, even better. That's perfect. So this outrage for the inflation of prices.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you why they want us to be the pushovers, because, you know, all these publications and whatnot, they'll get more views by talking about a Chelsea flop than they will about a West Ham flop.
Yeah, ridiculous.
You know, that's the long and short of it, really.
Insane, man. So this whole reaction to the price, it's ridiculous. But I think the links are good links. I think West Ham's a good club for him. Fulham is a good club for him. Wolves is definitely a good club, I think, for him. Wolves can definitely benefit from someone like Broja, I feel like he'd fit right in. Crystal Palace, I don't know about that one, but okay. But again, like, you know, he's at Chelsea. Fulham is right down the road. These are most of these London clubs that work out really well for him.
Crystal Palace is in London. Yeah, exactly. So these would work out in his benefit. And you even see here, Aston Villa would move if they sold a striker before the end of the window. I don't think Aston Villa is a good move for Broja, but you know, I think the West Ham move for me makes so much sense. I think they're not playing with a striker. If correct me if I'm wrong.
Bowen as a striker right now.
They're playing Bowen as the striker because Antonio's injured, and even when he is fit, he's like 32 now. You know, he's definitely he's getting up there in age. They have Scamacca out on loan, but Moyes doesn't rate him, so when he comes back, nothing will develop from that. You want Bowen out on the right, so cool. Go and get Broja. You know, he's a tall guy. You know, fits the bill. Physically, he can. I'm yet to be convinced that he's got his pace back or whatever, but who knows? And yeah, like I think it makes sense. And there have been links to West Ham before, even before Broja got the ACL injury. You know, back in the final. In the first clear leg window, I think there were links to West Ham, so there is a history there too.
Yeah. So, listen, I agree. It's a difficult price tag, but every striker in the market essentially has a difficult price tag on them, and I don't think Chelsea should be the ones out there putting on reasonable prices when everyone else is unreasonable. It only makes sense to make the prices, and again, we saw. This price was inspired by the Højlund transfer from United. Højlund went for £72 million. And
do you know how ironic it is that West Ham could be one of these clubs doing this when they took inspiration for their Declan Rice transfer fee from Enzo Fernandez?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. So, yeah, like, clubs do this all the time. Why is it a big deal when Chelsea does it? Why is
Chelsea.
It a big deal? You know what? Because our friend Jimmy knows best. It's do you know what it is? It's
beans over toast tax.
That's what it is. The beans over toast tax strikes again, and it's taxing Chelsea. They love to tax Chelsea with the beans over toast tax. All right, let's go on to the next topic I had. But big up, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments about the whole Broja thing. All right, let's talk about some striker targets. We have a bit of news regarding some strikers that Chelsea are targeting. Starting off with this first one being regarding Victor Gyökeres. According to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea have been watching Victor Gyökeres many times. So they've been scouting him a lot. But also his teammate Ousmane Diomande. I think that's why we're having these stories, as both players are among the names on Chelsea's scouting list, but it's nothing concrete at the moment. So listen, I mean, who was it? I think it was you, Oliver. You've watched Sporting this season a few times to watch Victor.
I've watched one game.
Okay. One,
but he was. I did say this before. He was so impressive in that game. Gyökeres,
What about Diomande? Did you happen to pay attention to Diomande?
I wasn't really paying attention to him, but there didn't seem to be any problems at the back. So I can only assume, based on that, I can kind of say that he did a good job.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to Victor Gyökeres coming to the club. It's just the pricing. I feel like this could, it's the price. 100 million euros. That's insane for a player that was last season was just at Coventry, right?
I believe so.
Coventry. I don't remember. The next tweet we have here is also according to Philip Hines and Sky Sports. Benjamin Sesko has a 50 million euro release clause active this summer. Benjamin Sesko's agent chilled, Jesus, the wording here, with Chelsea owner Todd Boehly and Baghdad Bali during the Blues encounter with RB Salzburg. I don't think this is really much of anything. It's formalities. I think this is them just networking and getting to know people in the industry that they're just so new to. And I mean, 50 million euro release clause for Benjamin Sesko. Sesko, who is having a pretty good season so far, I believe, at Leipzig. Is it Leipzig or is it Salzburg? He's at Salzburg, isn't he?
It's Leipzig, but he doesn't play, though, I don't think. No, I think he's their third choice striker because they have I can't remember their names, but they have a few strikers ahead.
Yeah. Again, though, look at this price: 50 million euros for a young gun from another league who has a decent patch of form. And again, I'm not hearing anyone saying overinflated pricing for Benjamin Sesko. Listen, Broja has played the Premier League. Broja is already Prem proven, so on and so forth.
But let's ignore the price for a second. What's the plan for Jackson, man?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
Makes no. Like, we can't have three strikers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
If Sesko were to come in, I would believe that. I would hope that means David Washington's going out on a loan or something. We just can't overinflate these squads. And if he is, and if one of these strikers were to come and we have an overinflated strikers situation, why not just get it to Strasbourg or one of our older multi clubs? So we don't have to go through this whole
I don't know, man. I've been asking the same question.
Yeah, it's just the same question over and over again. It's like, I hope that in the long run, the plan kind of starts to make sense. But it's been a year and a half now, and I still don't understand what the whole plan is. Outside of the typical, well, I know we're getting a multi-club, I know we want stadium upgrades, and I know we're going for use. But what is the plan with some of these youth players? Are we actually trying to bring them into the first team, or are we just trying to make profit off of them in the long run? And it seems like the latter to me. But at the end of the day, also, it's like some of these young talents, we're buying them for a significant amount of money. They ain't cheap. Like, we just, like, if we were to go for what's his name, the Brazilian Messinho, whatever, Williams,
Estevan Willian,
Estevan Willian. If we were to go for him, his price tag is set at 40 million euros or so. That's not just a simple flip and sell player. I would assume that's a potential first team player. So
you'd hope so, but like the thing for me is like, I don't mind, go make your profit. That's fine. Or you can have that be your goal with some of these players. That's fine. But I just have major questions about the methods in which we're trying to get these players to that stage. This is my criticism of the loans. Like, does anyone think 100%. Does anyone think that David Datro Fofana increased his transfer value based on what he did at Union Berlin?
No.
Etc. Does anyone think Andre Santos bumped his transfer value after Nottingham Forest? You know,
fuck no.
You know, not only are these players not developing their abilities and their mentality and all that, and as people, they're not raising their value either.
Yeah.
So there's literally a net zero in terms of like positives. Like it's all a net negative because they're just wasting their years now, pretty much.
No, I agree, and we definitely need to do better on the loan stuff. That needs to improve immediately. I am definitely very upset with how the loans have been going.
The only one that's currently tracking to make a profit right now is Moreira, but that's only because he was free.
Yeah.
So naturally, we get a transfer fee for him, regardless of how well or how badly he does at Lyon. Mm-hmm. So you can't even count that.
Yeah. It's such a strange situation with these incomings of youth players, and like I'm over it now to the point like I don't want to. No matter how talented, I don't want to see any more youth players come to this team. But I know they're going to be more. I know there's going to be more for sure. But let's just move on before I lose a brain cell. But before we move on, ladies and gents, big up to all of you. Almost 45 of you guys watching. If you haven't done so already, do smash up the like button. It does help out the channel with its growth. And subscribe if you haven't done so. 60% of the guys that watch this channel actually aren't subscribed. So if you are enjoying the content, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that whenever you log onto YouTube, it's on there, on your feed, easily to access. Don't have to type in Casually FC anymore. Don't have to type in the show. Don't have to type in anything. It's right there. Just click of a button and you can watch your stream from wherever you're doing, wherever you are. And then plain and simple, smash up the like button because it does help that outreach go out there. But all right, let's go on and continue with our final two talking points here, and then it's a wrap for the Casually Chelsea show. And the second to last talking point here is another one that I wanted to bring up, and it's Gallagher refusing to leave. Okay, well, let's read up about this. So, the first tweet we have here is from Fraser Fletcher, which is saying Conor Gallagher set to reject any opportunities to leave Chelsea this month should the club sanction a sale. The following tweet from Team Talk is Chelsea midfielder Conor Gallagher will dig his heels in to stay at the club in January, Team Talk can reveal. Even if a bid from an interested side such as Tottenham or West Ham was accepted, he refused to sign a contract. And then lastly here, there are some number of Chelsea hierarchies that view the sale of Conor Gallagher as a logical thing to do, according to Bobby Vincent. Now, I'm not upset about this. Why? Because Conor Gallagher, the player, has the right to do whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't have to say yes to a contract. He doesn't have to say yes to a move. And at the end of the day, he wants, I truly believe that he wants to stay at Chelsea. He is Chelsea through and through. I believe that. I don't care what anyone says. You can't convince me. I truly believe this guy is, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. But I truly believe this guy wants to be at Chelsea. He's a Chelsea fan. So why would he give that up? He's starting at Chelsea now for Poch, and he's captaining. Like, why would I give that up? I wouldn't. So I get where Conor's coming from. I don't blame him. At the same time, though, if there's an offer of $50 million for Conor Gallagher, or somewhere close to an overinflated price of, I would say, 70 to 80 mil, because in recent form this season, Gallagher has been really, really top notch. He's definitely in top 5 for a few categories with other, midfielders in the Premier League. Whether it's for good reasons or not, that's up for debate. I would argue he does hinder us, but regardless, I get where he's coming from. But if a good price were to come from him, I kind of would want to sell him. You're a profit, mate. I just don't think, I think he's good enough to be a Chelsea utility player, a squad player. I don't think he's good enough to start. And the only reason he has been starting, we all know this. The only reason Conor Gallagher has been starting, or one of the only reasons, okay? Because I'll give him that he does have his uses. One of the only reasons to have Conor Gallagher be a starting player at Chelsea is because you have an injury to your number 10s that would start before him or after him, or in front of him, I should say. Sorry, can't find the words. Nkunku and Carney Chukwuemeka. I wouldn't be surprised if over the course of time, when we see Carney play more and he starts getting match fitness, because there's likelihood that we could see Carney on the bench or Middlesbrough. I wouldn't be surprised if he eventually benches Conor Gallagher. Of course, Nkunku's going to be that guy to bench both of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if he starts to bench Conor Gallagher. I think he can do everything Conor Gallagher does. Maybe not as good at the running aspect, but I think he can do everything he does. And he's more progressive passing and more of a number 10, more of an attacking 10. That's the one thing that Conor Gallagher is missing in his repertoire, is missing in his game, is that instinct to be attacking, instinct to find the gaps and really be good at executing it. I think he fumbles the ball a little too often. I think he loses the ball a little too often. I think he goes out of position, I should say, in not the right time, which exposes there's a lack of experience there, and you could tell because he doesn't play a 10. He's not a 10. He's attacking 8 or an 8. So not making mistakes mean he's playing well. At Chelsea, unfortunately, I would say not making mistakes means well enough. I don't think he's playing good. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's world class. I'm not saying he's even top class.
Yeah, but you guys hounded out Jorginho for that very reason, because he was safe.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, that as a 10, you don't want your number 10 playing safe. So this idea that, Gallagher's our best midfielder and all this stuff, I strongly disagree. I think we're hindering ourselves a lot just to make Conor Gallagher work out. I think Conor Gallagher is a bottleneck in this system, if there is even a system.
I'll just say, I actually disagree. I think I disagree with what you said about Carney. I don't think Poch will change this team to bring back Carney Chukwuemeka. Main reason I say that is because from all reports we've heard, Poch values Premier League experience.
This guy's Poch, man.
Yeah, you know what?
Really,
I mean, Gallagher. What? This is now his 4th season in the Premier League, I believe. So
I think so, yeah.
Carney Chukwuemeka.
Yeah,
this is Carney Chukwuemeka, this is only his second season, and he barely even played last season. So, if you can even call last season a proper season in the Premier League. So, and mind you, yes, Carney was playing earlier in the season. Fair enough. We hadn't bought Caicedo yet, so Gallagher was actually in the pivot. That's one thing we have to consider here.
That's the other thing too, that I think if he wants to fit Carney, he will try to shoehorn in Gallagher. And
that's where Ahmed mentioned Enzo dropping out. Like, when we were talking about Casadei, but this can also apply if we just swap Casadei for Carney.
Yeah, and then we have Casadei out of the equation now too, which I didn't even think about until you mentioned it.
Yeah, and that's the other thing about Casadei coming back. Carney's better than him. Like straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I can't. Yeah, no, I can't argue that. It's that bias in me. I really think the ceiling is high for Casadei. He just needs to really refine his game more. Like that's one thing I'm really excited about.
I think he's got a high enough ceiling. It's just like we're talking about he's ready to contribute now, and that's where I have my concerns.
Yeah,
that's literally the quote they used.
DNF. I mean, the bar is already really low for Conor Gallagher, so using that bar for Conor Gallagher standards, he's playing well. But again, it's not good enough for Chelsea. I agree. I think, especially for a number 10, if we want a proper number 10, a proper number 10 needs to be able to execute attacks and needs to be able to score goals, needs to be able to make assists happen. That's not on Enzo from a number 6 position. You know, that should be Conor Gallagher's thing. And yes, Conor Gallagher has created chances, but not nearly enough as a traditional number 10 would. He hasn't been creating more chances than Maddison has in that position. He hasn't been creating more chances than Nicholas Jackson has in that position. He hasn't been creating more chances than, who else can I name in that position? Palmer in that position. Has Kudus been playing as number 10? Maybe?
No, because Bowen's vacated the right wing to go to striker, so Kudus is playing on the right.
What other number 10s are there out there? Fuck. You get my drift, though.
Well, what ones have you mentioned just now?
Just number 10s that have been creating more chances than Conor Gallagher this season.
I haven't really been paying much attention to the rest of the league. Yeah. Can't lie. Like, I know Bruno Fernandes has good creative numbers, but no one rates him, including me to an extent.
It.
But
I get it.
Yeah.
But it's just, again, one of those things that for a number 10, Gallagher isn't the caliber of number 10 you want for your team. You want a number 10 that can give you attacking numbers. So that's just not Gallagher. And this is where the lack of experience comes as well. Playing it safe. Lack of a system. Playing it safe as well. When there's no system, when you don't know where the player needs to be, or a player that's supposed to be receiving the ball doesn't know where to go, it's like, how do you expect these players to really perform at their best? So, again, it's on Gallagher. It's on the manager mostly. But yeah, we'll see what happens to Gallagher. If a good bid comes in for him, a lucrative one, I would hope that he does accept and he goes, because I would want the money more than I want Gallagher. Gallagher is now in that situation where I almost want him taken away from Poch for the sake of, like, this is for your own good, you know? KDB in one game. Kind of, pretty much. KDB in one game. But yeah, it's KDB though. But yeah, it's like one of those situations like, listen, if he stays, we can make use of him. There are games where he would suit us very, very well and be super, super fitting and beneficial to us. But I don't think that's every game. When you're up against a low block team, I don't think Conor Gallagher is going to do shit for you. So that's just my 2 cents in the whole situation and Oliver's 2 cents. But that being said, let's go to the final topic. Again, guys, if you haven't done so already, do smash up the like button. We appreciate you guys being here. And thank you for your support. On the final topic to discuss today, we have links to Antonio Nusa. I think that's his first name. I forgot. But Antonio Nusa. We've talked about this guy in the summer transfer window, and now he's back, and let's see what we have to hear about Antonio Nusa. According to Ben Jacobs, Antonio Nusa has been discussed internally this window at Chelsea. The Blues did try for him last summer. Spurs are in talk over a move for him. And then we have here in the next tweet, according to Fraser Fletcher, confidence from Spurs sources, a deal can be struck for Antonio Nusa to join the summer. Negotiations are ongoing. However, multiple clubs keen and Spurs move may force more bids. So I think Nusa is 19 years old. Antonio Nusa. He is 18 years old. Yep. Plays for Club Rouge. And he's a winger, left winger. I don't know. It's again, like, I'm so sick and tired of bringing youth players and what we're going to be doing with this guy, even if we do bring him in. Like, what is the point? I just wanted to stop. No more youth. Like, it's just ridiculous. You can't get everyone. All right. And even if you do miss out on someone, there will be someone else to replace them. There will always be another up and coming youth. Always. They spread like wildfire. There's always up and coming youth. So why we don't need to be on every single one. I'm tired of this. Stop with the youth players. Sure, I'm sure he's a good player. And he does have a fair handful of experience too. He's been playing at Club Rouge. He starts for them, I'm pretty sure. You know, he plays for them consistently. So I'm sure he has a handful of game time and experience, but enough. We don't even need anyone in that position. We have Sterling, we have Mudryk, and then who knows? We need tactics. That's totally right. Auto mention. But Oliver, do you have any 2 cents on this, or do you agree pretty much what I just said?
I'm just going to repeat what I said so many times today. What's the plan? What yeah. we have Mikhailo Mudryk, whether you rate him or not. What's the plan? Exactly. They can't both play.
Exactly. 100% exactly.
And even then, Sterling's the starter on the left anyway. So, like, what? They're both going to be on the bench?
It's just, this is stuff like this. It just doesn't make sense to me, and it's frustrating because you want to start seeing. I know us at Chelsea fans want to start seeing results, but we can't see results, especially with these young players, if you keep buying more young players to take their place, in a sense. So I don't know. It's just so confusing.
It all gets congested, really. The whole system gets congested.
Yeah, and that's what I hate to see. Like, we're seeing players like David Washington brought on the bench. You know? Santos, too. What's going to happen with him? I'm glad we sent Alex Matos out on a loan to Huddersfield. But, like, what about Washington? That guy's just going to rot away at the bench? So it's, again, like, I need to start seeing more action with these players. They need to start developing more. We can't be having people on the bench just sitting and rotting on the bench for no reason, especially when we know, like, you know, I feel like I want a more bolstered bench. I want a bench that, like, oh, you can play, you can score me a goal, then go. Like, I don't mind having Broja on the bench for the purpose of maybe starting a proper striker like Osimhen or something like that. I don't know. But it's just all frustrating stuff. Like, I don't want to see any more youth players. I genuinely don't, no matter how talented they are, unless they're like the next Mbappe or something, you know. And that has to be something we see with wrong format. That has to be something we see results. We have to see it for ourselves. Like, oh shit, this guy is like a baller, you know. But yeah. Any final words, Oliver, before we close this out, man? Watch out.
I mean, not really on the news. I mean, you know, we've got the game coming up on Tuesday, so yeah, like fingers crossed, man.
There'll be no Casually FC tomorrow. That's why we moved it to today. So yeah, don't tune in tomorrow. There'll be no Casually FC. We moved it today because I have some plans for tomorrow. But we will be back on Tuesday to discuss the results of the game, and then Wednesday, if there's more news, obviously we'll be back on Wednesday to talk about that news. But yeah, guys, big up to all of you. Big up to everyone who stuck around and watched the show today. If you're watching this in the future, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about everything we discussed. A little bit of a slow news week, unfortunately, for Chelsea. Well, actually, fortunately, I would say, because I don't want, please, no more youth. But yeah, like, definitely big up to everyone. Let us know your comments down below about everything we discussed. And then if you haven't done so already, subscribe, smash the like button, hit the bell notification, you're notified whenever we do go live. Check out the links in the description for all other content, especially the Discord. Discord's a cool little community we have. We have a Casually FC pro clubs. So maybe you guys try out for that. If you're proper Chelsea enough, maybe you can make the team if you're a proper casual. But today we are rating the one and only Flawless. So go ahead and copy and paste that. Show them some love. Let them know where you're coming from. As always, we do. Ooh, shit. Did the wrong thing. We do appreciate Flawless. Good friend of the channel. So yeah, big up to him. Show him some love by copying and pasting that message over to him. But yeah, guys, at the end of the show, we give the proper casual and higher tier members a shout out. Do check out the memberships, as there are 4 different tiers, and at this tier you get shout out at the end of every show. We even have a tier where you get to join the show, the casually call-in show from the beginning. So you get to start off discussing with us and you stay on the panel pretty much. But that being said, proper casual and higher tier members, shout out to OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, and A. Solomon. I appreciate you guys and your support. Oh, and Hassan Nawaz, of course. I'll write down his name so I remember. I appreciate you guys' support. As always, thank you guys for being here. Go ahead, copy and paste that raid message over to Flawless's channel. And we'll see you guys on Tuesday for the reaction to the Middlesbrough game. And fingers crossed. God damn it, I hope we actually get a win. So we're not here depressed and raging, discussing a loss and being knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Middlesbrough. So fingers crossed, guys. Until then, we'll see you later. Stay casual. Did he really just raid me? Did he just raid me? He did just raid me. Jesus fucking Christ. That timing is insane.
Oh, no.
That timing was so insane. I was just about to raid Flawless, and then he just raided me. So big up to Flawless. Big up to the people from Sarcasm City who just joined the raid. We're just about to wrap up, so I have to find someone else to raid. So give me 1 second. I know who to raid. Let's see who's on right now. But yeah, big up you guys who just joined. Do smash up the like button. I do appreciate you being here. Flawless, big up to you for the raid. The timing could not have been better. Hey, this is live. This is live television, people. This is live YouTube. This is what happens sometimes. We're going to be rating Staffy TV now. So go ahead. Once again, copy and paste that raid message right there for you guys. Let Staffy TV know where you're coming from. Big up to you. Hop along the raid roller coaster. We're going for a ride. Big up to Flawless. Thank you for the raid. Go check out his channel in the link below. And we'll catch you on Tuesday for our reaction to the Middlesbrough Chelsea game at the Carabao Cup. All that fun stuff. We'll see you then. Peace out. Stay casual. Wow.